You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You know what you are? You're a popcorn salesman.
Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Home Stretch.
All right, let's hit the field.
With Tyler and friends.
I'm going to warn everybody now because there's a new guy here. You might want to take your headset off for 5 seconds. Hello! Welcome to the Home Stretch. I'm your host, Tyler Harrison, along with Jordan and Josh, the Thursday boys, we're going to call them for right now because the morning boys are taken, so we'll call them Thursday boys. And
it's only in the morning in a different time zone.
Well, or it could be Friday in a different time zone.
That too.
Right, so why don't you mind your business? As that is my co-host co-host / producer / co-producer, Speedy Petey, because one of these two lovely gentlemen are going to hopefully work the board. If not, then who really gives a flying rip, right? But anyway, Josh, welcome. It's your first time.
Pleasure for having me. Thank you so much. Can't wait to get started.
And Jordan is back. Thank you for coming, Jordan.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That means we didn't scare him away the first time, so that's very good.
Not yet.
And then there will be Eric one of these days. His schedule's about
Slacker.
Yeah, gotta give him some time. He'll be here, right? You know Eric better than all of us, really, from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we used to. So back in the day at Plattsburgh State, we used to host a show together called East Coast Bias. We did it for about 2 years.
He told me the real story behind those initials, so it's okay.
ECB. Don't have to go into detail with that then, but. It was just a coincidental way that we started doing it together because I didn't really Eric was in a class of mine. I heard him talking to radio with some guys in the back of my class. I was like, my ears perked up. I said, "Oh, I heard radio. That sounds like fun. It sounds fascinating. I want to do it." Eric goes, "Oh, you're into radio?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm into radio." Okay, sure. So we did it.
So you lied to him?
Yeah, pretty much. I got my way.
But isn't that how all friendships actually start? Like a lie?
I got my way. And that's it, too. And I made a friendship. He wound up being a groomsman at my wedding years later. Look at that. It's crazy how the thing is full.
That's crazy. I'm the only one not married here. And Speedy.
Don't worry about it. You take your sweet time.
No, I've been in an 8-year relationship, so I'm married. I'm just not
you
married.
You don't have the ring on it. That's
right.
it. Yeah.
Right.
But it's just a crazy way, like I said.
As I probably get blown up in text messages right now. That's because you're an asshole.
But Eric was telling me about.
Oh, here it is.
Eric was telling me about Worldwide Sports, and here I am today. I know the rumor, they're going around. When is Josh coming? When is he starting?
I thought you were kind of like the. Undertaker. You just kind of dawned every now and then and showed up when you felt like. I thought there'd be like purple smoke and the lights would flicker on and off, and you'd just kind of walk in with a top hat.
Well, I would have done that, but the problem was when I got here, Speedy was the only one here. So I mean, who am I really impressing at that point? Nobody.
No, that's
Am
true.
I really coming in here? I'm like, oh, this.
Well, next Thursday there's a meeting, so you should do it then.
I'll do it then. I'll bring the trench coat and everything. That won't scare people. Okay, perfect. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
white guy with a trench coat. Where have we seen that before?
First impression is everything. So.
Yeah. I'm going to get the look of like Tyler's with the crazy guy. And we thought Tyler was the crazy guy.
Well, we wanted to obviously talk about the first topic. I believe it was with. I know you discussed it all week and everything like that.
Yeah, we so obviously the tragedy that happened over the weekend was by far the biggest news, and we are kind of transitioning here. So being that they are here Thursdays, it's kind of relevant to bring up what we had happen earlier in the week because obviously they have perspectives on it that maybe I didn't. And then we're going to start with Kobe. However, I feel like this is the perfect time to introduce the beginning of the show. We run down the day in sports real fast because no one else on this network tells the people the score is currently going on. Can you believe that nonsense? No one else on the network, the sports network, that is talking about sports, the day games that go on during the day of. Does anyone know what Sports Center started on? The highlights of the day in sport. Now they don't show sports; it's just a giant talk show. So whatever. But
it's all personalities now.
Yeah, well, that's why Stephen A. is worth $8 million or whatever he just signed for, and Tony Romo's going to bring in $20 million.
That's why they're bleeding money.
Yeah, well, that's why they should come work for us. Sorry, don't know if I should have taken that shot there, but anyway, Anyway, basketball sounds great. So that way we can segue into Kobe perfectly fine. Great. Awesome. The Boston Celtics are up 25-18 right now over the Golden State Warriors. La-di-da. Wonderful. First quarter is about to end. In the third quarter, Toronto was up 76-7 over the wait for it Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, that's a wonderful story. In the third quarter, the Washington Wizards are trailing 63-64 to the Charlotte Hornets. The team that is right now probably feeling the dumbest about not drafting Kobe Bryant and keeping him. So that's wonderful. The second half, the Atlanta Hawks are up 55-50 over the 76ers. There's about 3 minutes left in the half. We mentioned Golden State already. At 10:30, Donovan Mitchell will take the Utah Jazz into Denver to take on, I think, one of the most underrated teams in basketball, the Denver Nuggets. Especially in that place, it's a tough place to play. 10:30, the Sacramento Kings, or Queens, depending on how you want to refer to them as. I know Shaq used to make that joke all the time, and I feel like Shaq needs to laugh right now, so 10:30. The Queens go into the Staples Center to take on the Clippers, and this is going to be interesting because this will be the first game at the Staples Center since, obviously, Kobe Bryant's tragic passing. So that should be interesting. I think that place is going to be a really, really hostile environment. So we talked about the pro game. We now need to talk about the amateur game. As Illinois, number 19 in the nation, is up 24-20 at halftime over Minnesota. This game will be a blowout at some point. Illinois will run the table with them. At 8:30, which is right now, number 15 Maryland will take on 18 Iowa. You can see that on the Big Ten Network. That game should be starting right now or when my sentence is finished. So tune into that. At 9 o'clock, 11 in the nation, Oregon takes on Cal. That will be another blowout.
Yeah.
And then at 10:30, here's the trap. Here's the trap game I'm going to tell you right now. Number 2 Gonzaga will go in to, what is that, Santa Clara Coastal? Is that?
No, Santa Clara.
All right, beautiful. Santa Clara. You can see that on CBS. Why would you watch CBS? I don't understand why. That's at 10:30. And at 11 o'clock, Colorado takes on UCLA. And there is a golf tournament. And I swear to God, this is the name of the tournament. The Waste Management Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, Arizona. Yes, I swear to God, I'm not kidding. That is currently, the first round is actually suspended right now, and I wonder if that means there's a waste movement. But anyway, at number 10, Wyndham Clark.
If only Jeff stayed on the phone, he could call it the Dallas Cowboys tournament.
Oh, yes, in Phoenix, that's a wonderful idea. I'm not going to lie, Jeff kind of pissed me off already. Number 1, Wyndham Clark at -10 leads. Number 2, Billy Horschel at -8. At 3, J.B. Holmes at -7. And tied at 4th, Tom Hodge and Harris English at -6. And then there's the sport that I've kind of find out might be the building block, no pun intended, for the future relationship of me, Josh, Jordan, and, I mean, Eric's a Red Wing fan, so no one really gives a rip what he says right now, but...
Loser.
Yeah, you can say that again. They lose everything. The Red Wings aren't on, which is ironic. But the second period, with about 7 minutes to go, the Montreal Canadiens are up 2-1 over the Sabres. That's right, there is a third team in New York. It's not just the Islanders and the Rangers. Jack Eichel has been tremendous all year. He scored for the Sabres. Eli Kovalchuk scored along with Brendan Gallagher, and both names are going to be heavily rumored for the next 2 weeks to be traded, I think, especially Kovalchuk because he's played really well in a short time frame. And then the Nashville Predators, who are looking to get in the playoffs, are up 2-1 over the Devils. Philip Forsberg and Midas Ekholm.
Matthias Ekholm.
Oh, shut up, Speedy. And then Pavel Zasha has scored for the Devils as he's been there for about 50 years. So that's 2-1. And at 9:30, the LA Kings, who disappointed me greatly last night, I take that back. The Kings game last night was the first game played at the Staples Center. So the Clipper game will be the first basketball game played at the Staples Center. And the LA Kings are flying to Arizona to take on the Coyotes, as even they are starting to deflate, which is a shame because Ekman Larson deserves a lot better than what he's been given the past 5 years. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is Around the World in Sports, brought to you by Worldwide Sports Radio Network, presented to you by New York Sports Scene. You can go NewYorkSportsScene.com, check it out. If you want to come down, join the chat, 1815. Oh, my God, that's my other job. Hold on. 150 Motor Parkway, Hop Hog, New York. I do that every day now. I don't know why.
The third time in 5 shows you've done this.
I know. I don't know why. Because I leave voicemails now saying that, and they're going to get mad at me. They're going to be like, stop promoting your job. I'm like, it's not intentional. I'm just an idiot, and I talk too fast. But anyway, that's Around the World in Sports. obviously, speaking of around the world, this weekend has affected a lot of people. Again, we mentioned the other tragedies that have gone on in the other 7 people's lives. I've talked about already. We did a tribute show Tuesday. I'm going to kind of let Jordan and Josh give their reprieve here. And, guys, by all means.
Yeah, I mean, it was horrible tragedy. He's an iconic person, iconic player, someone that, we all looked up to as a generational talent. And, obviously the other 7 passengers, it's also very sad, but, it's the world lost a great person.
For me, excuse me, growing up, when you think of basketball, you think of there's different eras. It went from Larry and Magic to Jordan to Kobe to LeBron, and it was just the torch was being passed all the time. But Kobe was still in the realm of the LeBron era. That's the thing. How I view it as we can't forget those other 7 passengers. Obviously what happened with Kobe and with Gigi and tragic, about as tragic as you could possibly get. But also just to make note, those we have a son and a daughter, brother and sister lost their mom, their dad, and their sister in this accident. So we look at something like that, and I watched the special they had on Tuesday night on TNT with Charles Barkley and Shaq and all those guys, and I thought everything was put into perspective in the sense of when we see greatness, you need to relish in it. Whether you love the person or you hate the person. Me being a Jet fan, I hate Tom Brady as much as the next person. I could be the first to tell you right now that if Tom Brady ever had an accident like this, I'd be very devastated, not just for the sport, but for the community as well, for his family, stuff like that. So when something like this happens, you need to take note and you need to live your life to the fullest and enjoy it because you don't know how short it can be. We know Kobe had his stuff off the court, but for people that are just going to bring that up about it, leave that at the door. This is not the time or the place to bring that up. Let us grieve and just have our moment to enjoy. Watch highlights of him. See it. Love it. I have a Kobe jersey at home. It actually has on the corner of it has Black Mamba on it. So you just have to love what you saw from Kobe, and of course, right, that's the perfect example. By Tyler right there to just show it. With the white jersey, it's the perfect example to show how much you loved and appreciated him. Correct? You love the man.
I brought in a plaque that my girlfriend found for me at a not a state fair, but towns have their own fairs. Like Sayville has one, Ronkonkoma has one, and I didn't even go. I was at work. I came home and she was like, "I'm mad at you, but I bought you this anyway." I was like, "Thank you," and there's cellophane wrap over it. Just like you go to any sports fair, but there's normally styrofoam wrap. And cellophane wrap, I'm sorry. And she was like, "You can take it out." In my mind, I said, no, there's no way I'm taking it out. I still won't take it out. In my mind, he was going to sign this one day, and I was going to joke with him about it. That's how, that was the one guy that, if we came right now to us and I said, "Guys, who are we going to interview first?" my vote would have been for Kobe.
For sure.
There's no way. The guy was funny as hell, and no one really understood, but Kobe meant more to basketball than just Kyrie Irving last night after his win.
Yeah.
Couldn't speak.
Yeah.
He couldn't talk.
Yeah.
This isn't a guy that, I know everyone gave Brett Favre a hard time about not teaching Aaron Rodgers. That's not, if you're an all-time great, you're not going out of your way. Whether it's fair or not, you're not going to go out of your way to teach. Kobe Bryant retired, relished in it, and gave back. Forget teaching young males. He was teaching young women because his daughter wanted to play in the WNBA.
Yep. She wanted to go to UConn and be that superstar. And,
Right.
it's interesting. I thought a quote that stood out from, I don't know if it's the exact quote that he said, but Kobe said best when he said about laziness. I don't have the time or place to be able to talk to lazy people.
Right.
And that speaks volumes because that's Kobe saying, yeah, no, you're going to be good. No, I'm going to be great.
Right.
You're going to be awesome. I'm going to be beyond that. Okay, you want to be gold? I'm going to be platinum. That's how it's going to be.
Right.
And for that point,
He always put in the work.
You know what I mean? He always put in the work, no matter what. And was he? Ask Dwight Howard. Was he difficult to work with? Yes. That's why Dwight only stayed there for 1 year because he said he could not handle working with him. But Shaq was able to handle it. Pau Gasol was able to handle it. Some
made
guys
Pau
can
Hall of
handle
Famer.
it. Some guys are able to handle it. And Shaq put it best. They can't joke at his Hall of Fame ceremony now about, you got 5, I got 4. He said the other night, I can't joke
Right.
with that stuff anymore because it hurts too much. Jerry West, listen, Jerry West, when he was trying to sign Shaq, he raved about Kobe the whole meeting with Shaq. He said, look, I got this guy, Kobe.
Right.
Right, you're going to love playing with this guy. And Shaq said it best. He thinks they're the best 1-2 punch in the history of the NBA. Is that debatable? Of course it is.
I don't
But-
know. I think it's pretty clear.
It's clear.
I think it's definitively them. One
there's
Like
no
I
doubt
said, well,
about it.
well, what I mean is that people are just going to have. I agree. I think they are the best 1-2 punch in the NBA. How many rings did they win together? What was it?
3.
3 rings together.
Should have
And-
won 4 if Karl Malone wasn't a jackass.
Well,
But
that
anyway,
whole team itself. But it's just a sad point, and of course we send our sincerest condolences to those, to all the families and that, because the thing is, we'll remember Kobe and do all that. These other families definitely cannot, get everything like that.
we do have somebody on the phone.
Your favorite caller.
Snugs?
No.
Oh,
Your other favorite
sorry,
caller.
sorry, Errol.
Nope, your other favorite caller.
Favorite callers.
One more time,
Surprise!
Mr. Freaking Snow. How the hell are you, my good friend? Snowman in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Snow, meet Jordan and Josh.
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
How you doing, guys?
Doing well, doing
All right, how are
well.
you?
Now, someone said that Shaq and Kobe was the greatest duo. Insert the word one of, because they're one of the greatest duos. I'm not going to deny that.
No, I said it. I'll back that up. They are 1 and 2.
I said one of the greatest.
No, it's
Tyler said
definitive.
he
It's
said it was
definitive.
definitive.
No one was more dominant than Shaq for that time period, and Kobe and Jordan, long term, are very close to equal.
Yeah.
Very, very close.
Tyler, you know me too well.
Yes.
I'm from Chicago, and I'm always going to lean toward MJ and Scotty. You know that.
Now in hindsight, and I'm not. Kobe is my Jordan, so I'm going to say from the record, from everything that I've seen, Kobe and Jordan would cancel. Kobe defensively would not eliminate Jordan, but Jordan wouldn't be able to defend Kobe that well either. They would cancel each other out, and then who on that Bulls team's guarding Shaq?
Look,
Nobody.
Look, Kobe would score 40, but Jordan would score 42, okay? That's how close those two are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To be quite honest with you, I've talked to my GM about this at length. I think Kobe's more skilled than Jordan. He put in more work. He learned more moves. He had better foot. Kobe has the greatest footwork I've ever seen. Forget basketball player. He has better footwork than half of the wide receivers in the NFL maybe I've ever seen. The man's work was ridiculous, and he would put in the work to be better than Jordan. Jordan didn't have to put in that work. He was Jordan.
This is where me being old would identify itself, because I will politely and I will never ever say that Kobe did not put in the work. MJ put in the work too, but Kobe
That's not what I'm saying.
definitely-
I know Jordan put in the work.
Kobe definitely put in the work. Hell, he put in more work in 10 years than LeBron has done in 17, but I digress.
And you know what? I used to say that's an insult, but that's just a fact of it. Kobe outworked everybody.
It's a fact. It's a straight-on fact. That's why I would just love to hear his Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
That was one speech I was looking forward to hearing.
And we were close.
That was
It wasn't
one-
like
that
it was
was
5
really-
years away. It was really close.
It was, like I said, it was one of the speeches I was looking forward to hearing. I only got a few minutes because I got to get set up for my show tomorrow. But I will leave you with two things. Number one, the Mamba mentality is real because a lot of my friends are following it. And two, my Super Bowl pick for tomorrow,
Hello?
yeah, I'm
Mr.
right here.
Stone? Now, you said Super Bowl pick for tomorrow, and we didn't hear anything after that.
I'm sorry. I guess they don't want me to reveal it until I do my show tomorrow. But you guys will hear it first. The only other person that knows is my wife. My Super Bowl pick, I'm going with the 49ers.
I'm not going to give away too much, but I am probably going to agree with you.
I look. There's nothing against Patrick Mahomes, nothing at all.
Right.
But that defensive front of San Francisco is licking its chops.
Oh, that's an understatement. That front seven is one of the greatest we've seen.
They're lethal.
Lethal's an
Look, I
understatement.
told y'all in April San Francisco was going to make some noise while I was stuck at work one night. But
I agreed with you. I said they would double or triple their win total, and I got that right on the nose.
You did. You got it right. You got it right on the nose. We both did. We both said 13 wins.
And that's why
Nothing
the saying
against-
"Tyler's always right" is real.
Look, the
Serious.
only person
I'm gonna
that
learn
will
this
agree
now.
with you would be- My wife's always right, and she loves when I say that because 99.99999% of the time it's the truth. But be that as it may, and she's got a big smile on her face. Be that as it may, the 49ers defense is licking its chops.
Mm.
I mean, they do. If there's one thing the 49ers did less than any other team in the NFL, it's blitz.
They don't need
In
to.
2 weeks, they don't exactly. In 2 playoff games, they've only blitzed one time. That was late in the third quarter against the Vikings. They did not have to bring extra pressure at all against Aaron Rodgers. They won't have to bring pressure against Patrick Mahomes. And the 49ers, in terms of rushing yards, are going to hang 2 bills on the Chiefs because the Chiefs cannot stop the run. Healthy or not, the Chiefs have had a problem with the running game.
Then holding Derrick Henry to 69 yards didn't change anything?
No.
Derrick Henry just
Derrick
got
Henry
tired.
is one back.
He
The
got tired. He
49ers
had
have
the
a
whole
great
team
back
on his back.
3 times over. The 49ers have a great running back 3 times over. And if you include Deebo Samuel in the bunch, 4 times over.
And George Kittle's going to get some options, too. I can see George Kittle
Man,
getting
look.
some runs.
George Kittle is the best tight end in the league.
Oh, I honestly cannot even think it's close anymore.
It's not. George Kittle didn't have to touch the ball but once or twice in 2 weeks, and yet he's had a profound effect on the 49ers offense.
He's
who hasn't
he's
touched-
Gronk.
You know the one. Yeah. You know
He's the
one on
best
that
blocking
49ers
tight end in the
offense?
league.
Period.
Big wrestling fan,
The
too.
best blocking tight end in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
And you know who else, ironically, is going to be a huge part of this game, and I think the biggest X factor going forward? Kyle Juszczyk.
You
I-
read my mind. You
Fullback,
read my mind. Juszczyk hasn't touched the ball in 2 weeks, and yet he's helped the 49ers get 400-plus yards on the ground in 2 games.
Let me just ask you a quick question, because I know obviously you want to prep for your show and spend time with your wife. I completely respect and understand. This notion, because I hate what's going on right now, this notion that Jimmy Garoppolo is just sort of a game manager, do you want to defute that at all?
Who told this lie?
I understand it's a lie. Listen, I think Jimmy G is
Jimmy Garoppolo
phenomenal.
is just a manager. If Jimmy Garoppolo is just a game manager, then explain to me why he's the only quarterback in 49er history to throw 4 touchdowns in a game 3 separate times. If he's just a game manager, the 49ers were beat up offensively and defensively after taking an emotional loss in Baltimore, hung 349 yards on the Saints defense, and led to the winning field goal.
Easy.
I'm sorry, that
Easy.
Saints defense the Saints offense scored too quick and left Jimmy Garoppolo too much time.
No, I know,
Not
but
to
this
mention
game
the
hurts,
fact-
okay?
not
This
to
game
mention the
hurts
fact-
my feelings.
Listen, not to mention
Oh,
with a 39-yard reception with 3 Saints on his back.
yep. Listen, George Kittle's an absolute monster. Completely understand.
He's an animal. But I think Garoppolo. I think they're going to run the ball. The 49ers are going to run the ball a lot. But do not be surprised if the 49ers hang 500 yards of offense on the Chiefs, and if Garoppolo and that running game all doesn't show off. I just think the 49ers are going to be too much.
I'll be honest, I don't think the game's going to be close.
No, I disagree. I think it's going to be close.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way.
I'm going to give the Chiefs
I will
some
say this.
props.
I mean, Mahomes is.
I will not be surprised if it goes either way. The Chiefs are not the Chiefs are not an underling. They're there for a reason. Okay?
Oh, without
The
question.
Chiefs I treat them as such. But okay, this is really me dating myself. I'm not going to say the score is going to be this bad. But I will say, in terms of offensive and especially defensive performance, look at a replay of Super Bowl 24 between San Francisco and Denver.
Ooh, you're going the 55-10 game? Oh, boy.
Yes. I'm not going to say it's going to be that. I will never say that, not with that Chiefs offense. But if you look at the 49ers defense in 1989, and look at the parallels they have between them and this defense 30 years later, they didn't hardly blitz then either. And they had one of the hardest hitters in their secondary in Ronnie Lott.
It could happen. It could happen. I just think I think the Niner defense just matches up too good against the Chiefs offense, and the Chiefs defense I don't have faith in. I love the Honey Badger. I think the Honey Badger is either the best or second best safety in football, depending on where Jamal Adams is. But they're 1 and 2 to me.
I love the Honey Badger, but those receivers of the 49ers are going to run them ragged.
And I think Dante Pettis could finally wake up from the season-long drought he's been in, too.
I think so, too.
Because his speed's going to have to be used on the outside.
But I don't think it'll come into play because of the way the 49ers are going to run the ball on Sunday.
What do you guys
They have
think?
the
Because
offense with the
I do
team.
want to get your guys' take on it, unless you want to save it for when we talk about the Super Bowl in about 5 minutes.
I mean,
But,
I have to root for
let
the.
me get out. Let me get out of here. I just wanted to say hi to you guys, and I say go 49ers. They will win number 6 on Sunday.
We'll have to see.
Well,
That's it.
I hope we're right. I hope
Don't
you're
ever
right, Mr.
assume.
Snow.
Don't ever assume. Just remember that.
You know what happens when you assume, Mr. Snow? He ain't up speed?
I don't think so.
No, I'm here. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign off now, so I will talk to y'all a little later. All right?
I appreciate the call.
Absolutely, Mr. Snow. Thank you very much. We missed
Thank
you,
you.
buddy. Mr. Snow, one of my favorite people on the planet. You can check out his show, Snowman and More.
I think it's all the same as snow.
Yeah, no. But obviously, you guys, if you want to take it to 9 o'clock and talk about Kobe, that's absolutely fine because I'm sure you guys had more to say.
Yeah,
about
we
it.
could. I mean, we could. That's fine by that. I guess so. 9 o'clock went to that. We'll do the Super Bowl and everything because there's going to be
It's gonna be a pretty long.
That I mean, obviously,
everything like that. But
we were saying before with Kobe,
we can't. And it's unfortunate because this being my first show, it's unfortunate we have to talk about a topic like this.
Right.
So it's supposed to be an exciting time, and it is.
That's why you
exciting.
should have
I'm
came
joining-
last week.
well, on sports, things happen.
Tyler,
Life.
sorry, life happened.
Yeah.
You know?
No. Hey, listen.
I think tomorrow's going to be really.
And it's on
emotional.
national TV, I think,
Yeah,
too.
it
It is.
is,
It's
so-
on ESPN tomorrow. So don't forget, everybody's going to be able to
10:30
watch it.
tomorrow.
10:30. Everybody's going to be able to watch it. And
Watch what?
Definitely tune in.
the game tomorrow. The Lakers game tomorrow. 10:30 is on ESPN.
Versus Portland.
Yeah. It's on ESPN tomorrow night.
It's going to be pretty emotional.
Goodness, who knows how the rating's going to do at that point. because that late at
It'll be like a Super Bowl type.
Yep. That's exactly what it's going to be. But the crazy thing
I hope
is,
LeBron drops 50. Honestly,
You know,
I hope LeBron
Yeah,
actually.
I
shows
agree.
up.
I agree.
the only thing I didn't agree with what LeBron said was he feels he has to carry the Kobe's legacy.
He does. Not the not Kobe's like he
mean,
wants to carry the Laker legacy on.
But he said Kobe's name though. I believe in the comments. He said it's like,
Yeah,
like,
he said, "Don't
which I
worry,
s-
Kobe. I'm going to carry the legacy, as in the Lakers."
Okay, I was gonna say because if he meant Kobe's legacy, I'm like Kobe's own legacy, and you have your own legacy that you still have. You know, what I mean,
Right.
so it's just two very parallel points to where you don't have to carry the legacy; you just carry the legacy of the Lakers. That's the name, that's the brand, and that's everything you want.
Right.
You know, my thought process is with the whole thing. You know, it was coincidental. I was actually on the way to a friend of mine's mother's wake when I got the news. When I got the news, and it was on Twitter, and I clicked on the TMZ link, and it was saying "page not found." I said, oh, "Okay, it's a fake.
Yeah.
It's not true." Then I see
It
10 minutes
broke the
later,
internet.
trending. You know, and listen, I was in the journalism business. I know you want to be the first one to break the story. I get it; it's understandable. But
Sloppiest reporting,
But
I've
not
seen.
this way.
I mean, my goodness,
Right, you
can
still
you
gotta be accurate.
let the families find out first and grieve? Because how many different we went from 3 people died to 5 people died to 9 people died, and then Rick Fox was one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we? I mean, my goodness, can we let the families have a moment and let them
Right.
find out on their own,
Right.
not through TMZ?
I mean, I was watching the Pro Bowl, and then in the middle of the Pro Bowl, they cut it to breaking news, and then they said all 4 daughters were on.
Yeah, that was another
I
one,
was like-
and the wife.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like too soon, you know.
And then the report came out that his wife and Kobe made an agreement, that Vanessa and him made an agreement that she was never going to fly with him on a helicopter.
Right.
Man, well, that could have always happened.
No, of course.
Some instances,
That could
always
have-
at a
it could happen when you're
time.
it
So
could
they
have
can say that all they want, and then if there's an emergency, she's got to get out of there, and maybe that's the best way.
I mean, Speedy, I look at it like this too. I could have been driving on my way here, and something like that could have happened. It could happen at any point in time. For those that
Right.
say, "Oh, I'm scared,"
Right.
to
That's
do
why.
this,"
That's
and
why I
then
don't blame
you
him
can't.
for trying to fly the helicopter.
No, of course. And then the reports are that all the helicopters and everything was grounded that day. Everything. Nobody was taking
My
off.
my
everything
GM
like that.
at my GM at my job is a pilot. Like he flies very regularly. He said an average pilot could have flown in those conditions.
Yeah, it
So-
could happen at any point, any time. It doesn't, things like it could be a malfunction,
Right.
but it could engine malfunction. It could be, with a chopper or something like that. Something goes wrong,
Right.
Could always happen. It's just things that just can't be avoided.
From
It's
what
just
I
life.
from what I read, they got this special approval, and people thought it was just because Kobe was on board.
Yeah.
But it was actually because they claimed that his pilot was trained to fly with special instruments on the plane,
Yes.
on the helicopter.
Kobe always picked him to be his pilot. That was the
And,
report that came out.
It's unfortunately, again, lost an iconic player.
It's just
Right, but I also, knowing how I study Kobe and how he answers things, I wouldn't be surprised. And Kobe, and this is not an insult. If you think I'm about to insult Kobe Bryant, don't watch this show anymore. That's my advice. But I can see Kobe being like, "You're afraid of a little fog.
yeah.
You're not gonna fly me in this.
Oh yeah.
Come on, come on. I got. My daughter wants to play basketball. I'm gonna go take her to play basketball."
Yes, I mean my other thought process is too is, and we're talking Kobe nonstop, and that's fine. That's obviously the headline of this whole thing, and GG and everything of that sort. The thing about it is, Kobe and everything, that legacy is going to live and be in everybody's minds forever. These other families that were involved in this, they have to find a way to move on. You know what I mean? Imagine how, Vanessa and the kids and everything, obviously they're going to be growing up without a father, and that's extraordinarily tough. And it's hard.
And those families don't have the support.
That's
and everything
exactly
that,
right.
That,
Yep.
Bryant family has.
Yeah,
so.
that's,
Well, real
that's
quick,
right.
Vanessa Bryant actually posted something yesterday on Instagram, and that was her first public thing since. But she does say that she wants to support all the rest of the
Yes.
families too.
I read about
obviously
this too.
the financial burden the Bryants don't have to worry about. The Lakers will help if Vanessa ever falls on times, but Kobe Bryant, I'm telling you right now, Kobe Bryant took care of all that because he's not going to leave his daughters like that. So obviously he couldn't plan for it, but knowing how Kobe is with money, he wasn't going to spurn it sporadically. Plus all the endorsements he's there to take it. The emotional burden, I think, is what, and Vanessa Bryant said it best, leave them alone right now. Just leave them alone. They found out how everyone else found out that their father, patriarch, husband were gone, and their middle daughter, who's 13 years old, was just growing into the person she was supposed to become and was flourishing at whatever she was doing. As a mom, I assure you that they both hurt equally bad, and I'm sure that putting them on top of each other makes it worse. So I can only imagine what we talked about too. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No. It's this is hitting hard for everybody. You know what I mean? It's just tough. You know, Tyler, I know you said it. You're as big of a Kobe fan as anybody. It's just, when something like this happens, it hits you hard. But again, as I say, these other families, it's not going to be so easy for them because they don't have the legacy that Kobe had, where Kobe would be remembered. I mean, these other families, it's going to be a lot harder for them to pick up the pieces and walk. One family, like I said, a son and a daughter lost their mother, their father, and their sister.
I actually reached out to his brother.
And it's just a crazy, crazy thing that it can happen like that. Snap of a finger. It can happen at any point, any time. You know what I mean? And it's just, it brings that, like I said, you heard Shaq talk about it. We had the love, we had the hate, stuff like that. But in the end, we knew how close we were, and Kobe knew how he felt about me, and I know how I felt about him.
I mean, all you got to do is watch the championship videos, and you were the first two people hugging after the championship.
Every time, and that's what Shaq said on the show Tuesday night. He said every time, Kobe was always the first one to jump on him. Every time after they won a championship, it happened all the time. And Jerry West was hit hard by this. Obviously, I mean,
he knew him since
brought
he
him
was a
here.
6-year-old kid.
Yeah, he brought him here. I mean, and he was the patriarch, the matriarch to making the Lakers' legacy what it was with Kobe and Shaq. And even Magic Johnson said it when they retired Kobe's number.
Both of them.
We're here to celebrate the greatest Laker of all time. And
Right.
Kobe had his head down and smirked and shook his head. And, that's coming from Magic Johnson, who's one of the greatest of all time. Forget the Lakers in the game. To say something like that about you speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe considered him the greatest.
Yeah, that's true. They went back and forth all the time between who was the greatest. Who was the greatest? And it was just, especially when Magic was working for the Lakers, he tried to bring Kobe on as much as possible to be, to help the players and to work in the front office and stuff like that. And, I also love Kobe too because he was a Met fan growing up.
Yeah,
read that. Love that little nugget that I read.
Yeah,
he was at a Dodgers game.
He was a Strawberry fan.
He was a Dallas Strawberry fan. Yeah. Love the Mets. So take that.
And he's from Philly, so.
Yeah.
You know what?
If
it's one person I'm going to let slide being a Met fan, I'll let Kobe go. It's
not even us. I mean, come on, man.
No, you just, you're not Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry to tell you. You didn't win me 5 championships.
I mean, I could try. I don't know. Do you coach anywhere? He's thinking.
I can't tell. I can't tell that information.
But it's just the whole thing is just sad, and our thoughts and prayers obviously are with everybody involved in that horrific crash and just stuff like that. It's tough to even talk about even today, and they were talking about it at Media Week in the Super Bowl. That's what the conversation was.
It's like the first question everyone got.
Everybody got, what's your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Kobe was also a big advocate for the WNBA, so I think
they got a raise because of Kobe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
That's all you really need to know,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you guys have any? I don't want to say final words after a topic like that, but I mean, it seems apropos, right?
Yeah, I mean. For me, it's just I will remember the man for what he was, and that was one of the greatest of all time to not just put on a Laker uniform, to put on an NBA uniform, and to make the leap from high school to, at that time, go from high school to the NBA was a risky move for a lot of people, and he took on the challenge, and he wanted to be great. He said he was going to be better than Michael Jordan when he was younger, and people looked at him like he was crazy, and boy, he's right there, up there as one of the greatest of all time. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, every kid in our generation wanted to be Kobe, you know.
Kobe.
Just shoot the thing in the garbage.
Exactly.
It's all Kobe. That's what it is.
So he will be missed.
That's all my students do in school. I'm a phys ed teacher, and they just take the paper and they throw it in the garbage and they go Kobe.
You know what you should do? The first one that does it gets an A. Don't even tell them. Just the first one to sporadically do it that gets an A.
One kid said Curry today, and I said no.
F.
No.
F. He gets an F. That's an F.
I actually told him, I said, take that back. He went, okay. And he just took it out of the garbage can. He went, Kobe.
No, that's well, then let him keep the grade that he currently has. But
Yeah.
nah,
Could be a
That's-
C. We don't know.
C for Curry.
Yeah. That's a good point. Right in the middle because of the He's gonna have to earn that now.
Like Curry is my new guy. Like I love Steph Curry, but
He changed the way the NBA is now with the shooting.
there's no mid-range game.
There's no.
You either dunk or you shoot from half court.
Do you think there'll ever be a 4-point shot? The way they're going?
Yep.
Oh, Curry.
Yep. Curry will master it too.
Curry will master it and go bonkers with that one.
Hey, I'll take a 10-point shot if I can go in the tunnel. Okay. You're gonna let him take it? Yeah. God.
Well, what's the league really quick that Ice Cube runs?
The big three.
Yeah, the big three. Yeah.
With all the
Don't
Washington.
even
They
get me
have
started
the
on the big three.
It's horrible, but I mean,
No, not that. He wanted Kobe to play in the big three.
it was never going to happen. Kobe's way better than that and beyond that.
No.
So-
he would win 21-0 by himself.
Yeah, so I mean, the point is, what did they have a 4-point shot at the end? Or no, they have it in the game, but it's impossible to hit. It's like by the midcourt.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's also washed up in that. So.
Oh well.
No, there's a few guys that could still play in that
That's-
league.
it's
There's a handful.
Charles Oakley was
It's not
still,
too
Charles
entertaining.
Oakley was still yelling at his players on the
I
bench,
saw
saying,
that.
"Man, get with it." And I'm like,
I got
"How
kicked out of the garden. I'll get kicked out of here too.
That's really what it was. And then they interviewed him, and he was just like, he's like, man, we suck right now. What do you want me to say? And he's like yelling at this reporter, and this reporter's like, oh, sorry, back to you. And oh man,
Well, what are you gonna do?
yeah.
It's one of those things. But
We digress.
we gotta regroup too. So we're gonna take a quick break. Since I'm kind of here all week long, I kind of want to let Jordan and Josh have their little bit of fun. So what would you guys like to come back from break talking about?
I'd say Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
I mean, that phone call got us.
Geared
It
you up?
got us in the. Yeah, it did.
Ready for it.
Oh yeah.
So you want to have
Eric
you
Bo
want
and
to
I
have
have
a
been
super
going
talk
back
next?
and forth. Yeah, Bo and I have been going back and forth all week about it. He calling me crazy with
The slacker?
comments. That's his new nickname. Oh yeah.
All right,
He's gonna hate
absolutely.
me when I come back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, if he's here next week, he's either gonna gloat that he was right or gloat he was wrong, right?
You're gonna get a first row seat at what East Coast Bias was just like. Just the yelling and screaming and him trying to be serious and me with the joke. You're gonna see it, and I won't be able to take him 95% of the time seriously.
Tyler's used to that.
Couldn't take it seriously.
Well, I'm normally the one yelling and screaming, so. It's
Well, no, you're also the one that gets annoyed when no one else gets your jokes.
Oh yeah, like why? Because it's not even like I'm not fun. Like my jokes are freaking hilarious. Like they are. Like no, I would say jokes that like me and Speedy would chuckle for like 20 minutes, and Mike Guido would be like, "I don't get it.
You just don't.
I don't get it, Ernie. I don't get it. I don't understand."
You just don't say you don't get it. Just laugh.
Right.
Act like you get it, fake it, and then that's it.
And then like there was a kid that we had in between. We're not even going to mention his name. His name was Junior, right? So he comes on this show. He's like, "I'm an '80s buff." I was like, "Okay, Kickstart My Heart, why don't you?" He goes, "Oh yeah, that's great." I was like, "Who sings it?" He's like, "Leonard Skinner." I said, "No, you idiot." Anyway, or whoever he said, I forget. He got the wrong band.
Guns N' Roses, he said.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
80s,
all right.
80s buff, that went out. Your credibility went out.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so when we come back, me, Jordan, Josh, J&J Security are going to take a nice little stroll down Super Bowl lane as Errol Marks is live right now in Miami for the Super Bowl. So he is doing his due diligence down there to help spread the word and obviously, hopefully, get insight. as I'm sure Al Marks right now is loving the weather down in Miami. I think it's raining, actually.
He likes that more than the heat.
It looked like it was sunny
No,
when I was watching Undisputed this morning. It looked like it was sunny. No?
I have no
Is it
idea.
raining
I'm not
there?
there.
You said raining.
Because he called me last night saying it was raining and pouring. It was supposed to rain all week.
That's Florida, though. You know, you win some, you lose some. You win
Or
some
you
with
get
the
hit by a
sun, you
hurricane.
get hit by you get that too.
Yeah, well, it beats being here in 30-degree weather, so.
Today was nice.
It
You
was
thought
okay.
so? I thought it was... What
It was like 50 degrees last week.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was.
We can't top that.
Yeah, what are you going to do? We've got like an inch of snow.
Oh, now you... Nah, listen, I got my...
The snowman just called. That was the inch of snow.
I got my snowblower ready
he
in
calls
the
us
house. I
more
bought
than
the
an
gas
inch.
over the summer. I'm ready when there's snow.
You got a snowblower?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what she said?
That's definitely what she said.
Yes! Finally! Somebody that understands that that's what she said jokes. Oh, thank God. So
I have a sweatshirt that has the slogan on it.
Is it Michael Scott?
Yes.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Do you want to put our beds on top of each other so we have more room for activities?
Oh, so many fun things we could do in here. Huh, do you like guacamole?
Did you put your nuts on my drum set?
This is how we do it.
You seem like an angel.
Try.
Catalina wine mixer. Anyway, so as we come back from break, I don't know if I'll predict or not, but I'll definitely talk Super Bowl. Screw it, I'll give my prediction. It's fine. When we come back, we will break down Super Bowl 54 next on the home stretch.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
And now the baseball team.
Little League.
Fantasy League.
We are back with the home stretch on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Hello, welcome back to the home stretch. I apologize in advance to Snugs because he's blowing up my Twitter right now, and I haven't been reading Snugs alert because I want Jordan and Josh to talk a little bit more than me, which is a very accomplished thing for me.
Hopefully Snugs alerts will be more important of Jordan and Josh in the future. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, Snugs
It'll
is
be a vital part of their show.
Snugs is the smartest fan we have.
Is he now?
Yes, without question. He agrees with everything I ever say, and when he disagrees with me and he's wrong, he'll call me and tell me.
So
He'll be like-
so he does call in and stuff like that.
Yeah, but then sometimes, if I provoke him enough, or if he agrees with me enough, he'll call it.
Perfect.
And he'll be like, hey, actually, I think you and Eric, he called last week for you and Eric, I think.
Was that the
Yeah,
Rangers
you did.
stuff?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So Josh is just the lone wolf.
You guys were fighting about if
That's a
Larry
great
Walker-
movie. Wolf on Wall Street. We were talking about movies. Wolf on Wall Street's freaking great. The first 15 seconds of the movie basically lets you know Leonardo DiCaprio's on his shit. Anyway.
Snug called last week. You guys were arguing if Larry Walker should be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's
yes.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
I absolutely agree. Larry Walker to me is... Anyway, we're not going backwards. We're going to go forward.
I agree with that. I think he should be a Hall of Famer.
No, thank you.
It's just,
Thank you. Did you and Eric both disagree, or you were the...
No, we both disagreed, I believe.
Okay. Because I
Sounds
know...
familiar.
No.
Sounds like our old show. We never agreed on a single thing.
But we'll.
A show named after the own host. We're just going to call it East Coast bias. But
Yeah.
in actuality, it's all about me. I'm just kidding. Eric.
I hope he didn't. He's going to call it now. What'd you say about me? I'm coming to the studio.
Hey, guys.
I'm coming to the studio right
I heard you! Oh,
Yeah, he's going to be screaming.
does he really scream?
No.
He seems so mild-mannered. I can't imagine him screaming.
He didn't scream. I was just screaming. He'd be like, okay, take it easy. All right.
He told me about your ending segment, which I think is great.
Oh, you're better than that?
Oh, you wink? We got a winker over here.
One of the.
Are you or are you not a knock? Are you or are you not a knock? Sonata. Stop being a smarty, all right, Chris? Just get in the car.
It'd be hard to take you seriously now. I'm just kidding.
No one takes me seriously. That's why everyone's always wrong. But anyway, you guys obviously want to talk about the Super Bowl tomorrow. It's the biggest game of the year. It's going to be the highest rated game maybe ever because every year the Super Bowl ratings go
It
up
always
and up.
goes up. Yeah.
So
No Patriots this year too, so that should help it.
bite your
Maybe.
tongue.
Just
Bite your
saying.
tongue. The Patriots are well represented in this football game.
Well, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. If you want to count
The-
Jimmy G's for a few games, and yeah, I guess
Well, he was a replacement, but yeah.
he was the
He was not.
he was
he
the
was
chosen
not a
one,
replacement.
Tyler. He was the chosen one.
No, TB12 was the chosen one. That's why he's the greatest of all time.
Better than Montana.
Oh no.
Okay, that's another day.
No. I agree with you, but somebody else on this network does not agree, and he
No.
will, if he hears you say that, will provoke him to snap on you. So I suggest
Okay, I'm always up for debate. So
his name is Errol.
Oh man, if Aaron wants to talk to me about it, I'm all game. But you know what? We talked to Aaron Boone last 2 weeks on the phone. You were brought up in that one. That was the whole thing. But then he put me on the spot. He's like, listen to me. Do you think Aaron Boone is manager in baseball? And I was like, the stats back it up. I can see it at the same time what he's thinking. I know something
You
we're not
can't.
totally talking about.
Are you a Mets fan?
I am.
Okay, then. I'm a Yankees fan. Okay, let me just break this down.
Here we go.
Let me
Just started.
let me just break things down for you. Okay, Aaron Boone is not only a top manager in baseball, he's not even the best manager in his own division, and he's not a top 5 manager in the American League.
Wait, who's the top of the division? I know who you're going to
Kevin Cash is the best manager in that division.
I agree with that.
Okay, Kevin Cash, Terry Francona is already 2, Bob Melvin. Yes.
Yes. That's
Joe Madden, you're at 4. You're already at 4 guys. Stop it. Bob Melvin, Joe Madden.
But didn't Melvin retire?
No.
No,
Oh, no. What am I thinking of? Oakland. I'm thinking.
you're thinking of Bruce Bochy in San Francisco.
I'm thinking of. No, I was thinking of that.
1995 and 2019 is his record and the years he started and
I
ended.
was thinking about Ned Jost too. That's why. Because Ned Jost just retired from Kansas City.
Actually, Speedy broke that stat for me. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was made up.
What one?
His win-loss record.
Yeah, and he should just retired at that. That would have been way better than getting to the 2,000 wins.
Oh,
Wait.
He didn't get to 2,000 wins.
Wait, are we going to include Dusty Baker
No, he
on
did
this list?
because his career record at the time of the game.
Dusty Baker
No,
and Aaron
it's-
Boone to me are similar.
His career record at the time of the game was
I hate
1995
Dusty
and 2019. And
Dusty
then
Listen, Dusty
eventually
Baker's a
got to
grown
the
man in the
2,000
room, and that's what the
wins.
Astros need right now. Dusty Baker is going to get that
His
organization.
press conference was horrific today. He sounded just like a grizzled old man that's up there saying,
Yeah, it was not good.
It was so.
I
I'm
even
so
watched
glad the Mets did not go that
Yeah.
route. Oh my god.
Joe Girardi's a better manager than Aaron Boone.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
yes,
fair.
that's fair.
I wanted Joe Girardi, but
I'm fine with Rojas, but you know,
Oh, shut up. How could you be happy with Rojas?
I was one of the guys I wanted.
No, he did get 2,000 wins. I was right. He had the record of 1995 and 2019, which would have spanned the time he managed in the major leagues. He should have just retired there.
Who is this for? This is
For Bruce Bochy.
Bruce Bochy.
For
He did
Bruce
get to
Bochy.
2,000
That
wins?
was, yeah, he did. 2003 wins in his career. But I said after
I
that
just
game,
saw something on MLB Network that his record was 1995 and 2009.
yes, because that's what the stat was. It was a crazy stat for that one time, and he should have just retired then. That would have been
No, I'm fine with this.
as staggering of a stat as you could get. It was,
Is Rocco Baldelli a better manager than Aaron Boone?
I'd say so.
I don't think so.
I think it's tough right now.
yeah.
I think
I'm not
think
gonna
it's
if you
close.
want to call it a tie, that's fine. But I'm taking Mike Matheny over Aaron Boone. Sorry.
I hate Mike Matheny so much, but yeah, it's fair. I'm not a Mike Matheny guy.
You're at 6 and 7 now.
Yeah.
There's 4 guys I'm not wavering on.
Did you say Bud Black?
No, the Bud Black's in the National.
National League.
Oh, we're just talking about America. Okay.
And the
American League.
You're not right. And the American alone, I know he's not top 5.
Yeah, no. I thought you meant everybody. Okay. No, that's fair, because if you did...
That's all I said. That's all I said.
Yeah.
I'm told I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm a Yankee fan. I'll be honest.
Well, you have to remember, that was also literally the first time I spoke to Arrow. I didn't want to say... I don't want to say no.
You gotta be honest with Errol. You gotta be
No,
like,
I
no,
know.
you're wrong.
No,
Move
I
on.
mean, I still think he's a good manager. Do I think he's the best manager? No, I don't. I think he's a
he's
guy...
a player's coach.
Exactly.
He's not a guy that's going to make
Okay,
the
so-
substitution that wins you a game.
Here's the... And now listen. Luis Rojas has not matched a single game yet.
No.
You can... Listen. You can hear the two...
Here we go.
No, you can hear the two...
Here
Listen.
it comes.
Listen.
By By the way, before I'm going to let you speak about the Rojas thing real quick. Do you guys think Beltran deserved to be fired?
It was a tough scenario for the Mets to be able to continue with what was there. Because the guy is starting out his career, and this is going to be hovered over him and the organization.
I think all season long would have been a problem.
Yeah, it would have been a problem.
And the Mets already have their own issues.
And
so.
to be quite honest with you, the Met players vouched for Rojas to be hired.
Well, right.
I mean, he managed.
I saw
he managed
Stroman.
affiliate, so
He managed all of them.
Right. Stroman was happy as hell.
Cano came out too and said it. And if
And so did
Cano,
Alonso, so.
Cano, who's a veteran that's on the team, that's respected in the locker room, then
Well, Cano has his own
I mean,
problems.
at least he has some sort of experience
but
managing.
it's no. Look, there were three guys during this whole managerial search that I wanted very much. So one was Joe Girardi,
Who would have been the perfect
He was
hire.
top
The
choice.
perfect hire.
Obviously, Tim Bogart was the other because of the experience of the managers.
That's who I wanted, yeah.
The experiences that Tim Bogart had. Speedy, you might know this. All the guys that Tim Bogart has managed under, from Ron Washington to Joe Madden to Dave Martinez to Terry Francona to Bobby Valentine, he has experience with all these guys. Working with them, he just came off on the staff of the World Series champions.
Right.
So that takes it right there.
An underdog team too.
That's
With a lot of
exactly
thinking they weren't going to do anything because of everything they lost.
Well
the
respected.
team being so new. That's why I actually thought, in addition to the Mets, I wanted him for the Mets. He actually, I thought, was the perfect guy for the Astros job.
I agree. And he wasn't even a thought. And the other one I said was Luis Rojas. And the reason why I said Luis Rojas is because, one, he has managed all these guys in the farm system. He's worked with this organization since 2006. The guy has credibility in the minor leagues. He's an excellent minor league manager. Granted, it's the minor leagues, but it's still managerial experience. And I love when people say, oh, my God, his lack of Major League Baseball experience might hurt him. I'm like, hello, they hired a guy with no coaching experience, period, Carlos Beltran. That was the thing. Brody tried to outsmart himself with the Beltran hire, in my opinion.
hold on.
Because of the name. Well, because of the name and because of the
Had
brand.
nothing to do with the name. Had nothing to do with the name.
It was also money.
He
No, I had nothing to do with the money.
He just wanted a puppet. That's what
Yes,
he wanted.
he wanted somebody that would allow
That was my third point. He
BVW, whatever he wants to call himself.
He wanted and I've actually, it's crazy. You know how they do the Met 12 days giveaway on
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff? I was one of the guys that won last year.
Woo! You're on Twitter?
I won the meet and greet with Brody and do batting practice.
Are you?
How was
Me.
that? How was that?
It's phenomenal. Brody spent the half an hour with us, and he could have kept going. He could have kept talking, but the guy was like, "All right, Brody, we
You
gotta
let
go."
people talk?
It's a fact, Jack. Just saying.
Who you calling Jack? My name's Tyler.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry. I'll let it slide.
but the point being is that fact that he wanted a yes man puppet. That was the point. But these players vouched for Rojas to be here. Okay, he's managed all of them pretty much,
right.
and you hear his demeanor in the press conference. It's not like Mickey Callaway where it's we're gonna coddle the players, we're gonna make sure their feelings are good.
Well,
they
Mickey Callaway got a
feel
raw
great.
deal.
I
He didn't
don't
deserve to
think
go.
so.
He didn't deserve to get fired.
He didn't know what he was doing from
He
day
knew what he was
one.
doing. He didn't know idea on the day-to-day team on
so,
the field.
hold
he
on.
knew
Wait a minute.
nothing.
When the New York Mets,
It's always Nat, and that's they take it over.
well,
Studio.
well, that's because the Nats are leaving Washington. Anyway,
That's true.
but in all seriousness,
Touche.
thank you. So let's just be honest for a split second here.
No,
when the
let's
Mets
lie.
were okay, fine, I'll lie. Brody Van Wigenen's a great general manager. Anyway,
Oh God.
you told me to lie,
I can't even stomach that lie. Go on.
but you told me to lie, so I lied.
Yes.
Brian Cashman's a genius. How's that sound? A tremendous general manager in his own right.
Really?
He's so overrated. It's ridiculous.
Thank you.
He's so overrated.
Thank you.
It's not funny.
Thank you.
You had George Steinbrenner do your job for you for 20 years, and
Thank
then you get told to build your own dynasty, and what happens?
Still
You
can't do
He's
it.
struggling.
You told the
Still
greatest
can't do it.
Yankee of this generation, get out, I want Tulo. Tulo played half the games Jeter played, and he was double the age. So what do you really know, honestly? And let's just make one thing perfectly clear. If the Yankees don't win a World Series after they trade for Nolan Arenado and they get Garrett Cole, sorry, Cashman, you need to go, guy.
Who are you trading for Arenado?
What?
Who are you trading?
Whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
I don't know about that.
Well, hold on. Hold
I
that
know.
thought. Hold that thought for a split second, okay? So, Miguel Andujar, I'll trade. because you're trading a third baseman for third
Okay,
baseman.
well,
That's
yeah, fine.
Okay, it's obviously.
So Andujar could be the centerpiece, the biggest piece, whatever you want to call it. Now, Colorado's I'm asking for Happ to be part of the deal. Okay?
Right.
I want that contract gone. You need pitching.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, and he's a sinker pitcher, so it helps
Why would
Colorado.
the Rockies want to take that on?
Because we're taking Arenado's contract off your hands.
and plus the situation with Arenado's getting a little
I
rough.
guess.
So
Yeah.
It's not get it's
already
getting
rough.
full blown.
It's
It's getting
out of
full blown.
control.
It's a little rocky over there. I'm here all day, Jack. Anyway, that's it. Oh God, I'm sorry. I just do it so good. That's what she said. Anyway, I'm nothing.
I'm thinking of no. You had me indulged in this trade conversation.
Oh, so Andujar goes, Happ goes because obviously we're taking on the bigger contract, so you should do that as a solid. And then now, what do you really want? You're looking for young players, right? This Devi Garcia kid. that everyone's
Oh
raving
no!
about.
Don't bring it up, Aaron Love. No,
So here we
you're gonna
go.
upset him.
No, whatever. Here's the thing, right? I could give a rip who I offend on the show or who I upset. It's fine. So let me just tell you this, right? Clark Schmidt is the highest rated Yankee pitcher in the farm system. So I'll trade Clark Schmidt. Oh, Eric Bowe.
You heard what Eric said?
Eric Bowe.
Somebody's
Eric
listening.
Bowe.
Somebody's listening.
Wow, I hope we can talk Yankees again when I'm there. I have some counterpoints.
well, you should have been here.
Yeah, you should have been here, as Jordan's been calling you a slacker.
He just threw you there.
That's all right. Eric
He
knows.
threw you to the wolves.
Eric knows.
No, Eric, what are you talking about? He can
Eric
play
can.
it back.
That's true.
If he doesn't play the show back, what kind of guy is he that he doesn't watch his own show?
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
And your debut, no less.
And he did bring me. He did get me here. So
Yeah, so he should be at least watching how you're doing to make sure he's not being a fool of.
Should we talk his hockey statistics?
Eric Bowe,
Yeah.
a goal, 5 fights, and 20 assists.
What's his plus minus though?
6. 6?
What's his Corsi time? Or
Go
percentage?
An hour and 16 seconds.
It's not a time; it's a percentage.
25.
Oh, jeez. That's rough.
What did you mean by hockey stats? Eric's he better be quick, man, because he's.
Oh, he may not seem it.
No, I don't mean no. I meant on the ice.
Oh, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know about him with that one.
You said bring up his hockey stats.
When I say bring up his
Oh.
hockey knowledge.
Oh no. You should have
Should have clarified myself.
you
better.
should have clarified yourself because now we both look stupid.
In the words of Tom Coughlin, my mistake. I apologize.
Okay, Tiki Barber. As I'll be Tiki Barber. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
And then what did Tom say back to him? You can kiss my.
You can kiss my 2 rings I don't have yet. Tiki Barber said, "What rings, you delusional old man?"
But I think we were saying with regards to
Nolan Arenado, right?
Arenado and
So-
discussing who would be traded and
So I would trade
Debbie
Clark
Garcia.
Schmidt. No, Clark Schmidt's a higher rated pitcher right now, and he's the highest pitching prospect the Yankees have. Clark Schmidt, not Garcia. Schmidt.
He's more of a velocity guy, which will probably, if you're looking at which for the Rockies' sake, that would help Coors Field more.
Who is
Pitcher
it?
in Coors Field.
I know on MLB.com it gives you the top 100.
Right,
prospect
he's
list. Is he ahead
78.
Is he ahead of Devi?
Yeah, he is.
Right now, I think-
Devi Garcia is 92.
I think he's 92, and Clark Schmidt was 87. I think.
I thought he was 78.
No, I think it was 87.
Okay. But anyway, the top-ranked guy the Yankees have is Jason Dominguez now, right? So guess who's old news now? Goodbye, Esteban Florial, who I said to trade 2 years ago, and everyone said, "No, he's the future. He's the future." Yeah, we could trade him now, I guess. Yeah, okay. I'm a big believer in you trade now because if you don't trade now, you will get left behind.
It's not even that. It's
You want to know what I suggested the Mets do, just to show you where I'm at with this? Not this year, last year, when DeGrom had that historic season.
Don't say trade.
1.88.
No
yeah,
way.
I absolutely suggested the Mets should trade Jacob DeGrom.
Never.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Absolutely,
And
you
who
should
did
have.
you want them to trade him to?
I don't know. I don't know what the offers would have been, but I guarantee you he would have given you a half a team back.
I wanted the Yankees. That's what he wanted.
No, I swear, I didn't want him. I don't want him for the Yankees.
You didn't want him on the Yankees?
He wanted
I didn't want him.
He wanted Syndergaard more than DeGrom at the time. I remember that.
I didn't want DeGrom.
I
didn't want DeGrom.
I remember
No.
I know.
you wanted
I'm being
Syndergaard
honest.
more. I remember that.
I'm being honest.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Syndergaard's a blockhead. I don't think he knows how to be
Thor?
a pitcher.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't. He's a hard thrower.
That's
Here's
why I
the
think
thing.
Jeremy Hefner's
Here's
gonna
the
help
thing.
him.
Here's the thing.
You really had to bring that name.
Oh, you think Blake's not going to help him? You're blowing smoke. You're blowing smoke. You can't believe what you just said.
I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You're not. You're in denial. You're literally saying it and then
Phil-
thinking it after.
Phil Reagan is still there, too.
Who gives a rip?
I love Phil Reagan.
That's great. You know who I love? Joe Rogan. But does that mean I want him as a coach? No. He knows nothing about team sports.
What's up? No, you're comparing a
Yeah,
guy who did
that has nothing to do with it.
He's tough as nails.
So
He's
what?
tough as nails. So the Mets
Joe
need a little
Rogan-
bit of toughening up.
Yeah, so I'm just.
Who's tougher than Joe Rogan?
Oh my goodness. But anyway,
Maybe Trump. Trump should buy the Mets.
oh
We're
god.
taking this way off course here.
Wow, we are really going now political now.
No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm just saying the Wilpons need to sell the team, right?
They are.
They are. Steve Cohen.
Right.
buying
But
the team.
it's going to take like 5 years.
So here's the report. The report is, and this is a fact, that as soon as this summer happens, he would get the stake of 60% of the team. Therefore, money will be infused to the team next offseason.
He also grew up a Mets
But
fan,
you
so-
have a high payroll now. Money's not the problem. Your roster's the problem.
No, I love our roster. Our roster, I think, is fine.
Here we go. Another,
Our roster is
ladies and
fine.
gentlemen,
It's
another
okay,
delusional
but
Mets
it's
fan.
Okay.
No, it's not delusional.
It's okay.
Yes, it is.
Problem is the strengths are all in the same area.
Let me give you one-
And they have too many
Let me ask you
injury-prone, streaky veterans.
You're a Mets fan too, right, Jordan?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask Block and Block who this goes to, right? Who's H&R and who's going to be Block?
True. Go for it.
Okay. So let me just say this, right? If Tim Tebow
Oh, God.
is going to make the Major League roster,
He's not.
He's not.
don't
definitely
don't
not.
count
He's
on that.
He's definitely
He's definitely not.
He's
Don't-
just there as a show, and because Brody was his
He'll bring in
agent.
tickets.
Tim Tebow got there before Brody did.
But again, Brody, once Brody got there, who was Brody mostly brought in?
His
Which
people.
client? His people.
Yeah.
Brody is mostly brought in.
Tim
too.
Tebow was already there.
I understand that, but again, Brody got him there. Therefore, Brody's still going to keep the guy because
Yes, because
Brody's
Tim
guy.
Tebow's going to have great trade value.
Well, I'm not talking about trade value. You could easily just cut the guy.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think if
should
Tim
just put the
Tebow
guy.
went to the Angels, he'd flourish.
No, goodness gracious.
I don't think he makes a roster.
Angels in the outfield.
I don't think he makes.
He's God's son.
All right, this is way off course now.
No, that was a good joke.
Thank you, Speedy. I could tell that Mr. Funny Man over there doesn't really pick up on sarcasm like the other doofus did. But anyway, where do you have the Mets finishing? I'm curious.
Right now, seeing as a, I mean, pretty much this is what the rosters are, right? The Braves got Ozuna to replace Donaldson.
I mean, I think there's going to be a trade or two
The
before.
Nationals did not replace Rendon, and I thought they should have re-signed Rendon and let Strasburg walk. That was my personal opinion.
I wanted the Yankees to get Strasburg over Garrett Cole, so I would have been fine with that.
No, they made the right decision keeping Strasburg. I'm just surprised they did.
I hate the move because I think they had enough pitching depth, the Nationals, to get by with what they had, especially because Anibal Sanchez, who's not Steven
Right,
Strasburg, has enough depth to make it work.
Here's the
and they
thing,
have a
though.
prospect-
Rendon hasn't been the kind of player he was this season his whole career. Plus, he's very injury prone, and it's much easier to replace hitters than it is to replace
But
pitchers.
he hasn't really been injury prone the last 2 years, and the thing is, how are you replacing
Yeah,
him
but
in the
it's
lineup?
2 years versus his whole career.
But
And
how
he's
are you-
older. I don't know.
But again, how are you replacing him in the lineup? That he was a
production.
big reason they got to the World Series, and he
Right,
was
but
a
they
big-
replaced.
Juan Soto's still there, pal.
Right, but
Never said he wasn't. I said he was a.
people
big
said that
reason.
about the
It was one of
Nationals
big reasons
offense.
He was.
People said that about the Nationals
Fill in
offense
for a year.
after they lost all that, and they got multiple guys to do that. When they lost Harper, they lost Ramos. They got multiple guys to serve their production on better contracts so they could sign Corbin and they could bolster their bullpen, which they did at the trade deadline.
And they might want to bring up Keyboom.
So where do you have?
No, right
Is
now.
Keyboom that close?
Yeah,
He's top 50.
Apparently, they're already penciling him in as a third baseman already. They thinking he's
That early in the season, though?
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's what's his name? Rizzo said it already. He says we have
That's
high
it?
expectations that he's going to be our third baseman.
That's
start
pretty
the year,
interesting.
Which
And Dave Martinez is over
Castro
it,
would be
too.
the second baseman. They have Turner at short. I just think Rendon is a more.
They still got Brian
because-
Dozier
well,
there, too, I thought, so.
No,
he's
he's still
gone.
no,
No,
he's still a free agent. And the thing is, Strasburg's injury prone too. That's the reality of it. He's always
Yeah,
been
but
injury
Steven
prone.
Strasburg's postseason run showed you that this notion that hitting is the only way to play baseball is
No, it's
ridiculous.
not. But where do I have the Mets finishing right now? I would say I think they're ahead of the Phillies. Even though they
Oh,
got
give
Gerard.
me a break.
No, I'm serious.
How?
Who's the Phillies bullpen?
Who's the Mets bullpen?
I can name 3 guys that I think
Who played well last season? Okay, that's the guy.
Lugo,
One.
Wilson.
Justin
Wilson.
Justin Wilson and
was
David
good.
Robertson.
He
was.
That's fine. David Robertson's just as good as Justin Wilson.
But he's not playing. He's Tommy John. He's out for the
Okay,
year.
that's
I
fine.
mean, I think Betances is
He'll
going
be
to
fine.
bounce
I
back.
think
yeah.
Betances will bounce back.
Oh, that's right. You did steal Dylan Betances. I apologize. That's true.
Okay.
I
You know,
forgot.
you did.
I forgot.
Also, and to be honest with you, this is how bullpens are. I compare bullpen pitchers to kickers in the NFL. One year they're great, the next year they stink. That's just always been the case.
Not with the Mets. Their bullpen's been bad now for about 5 years.
No, 2015 it was good, but I digress.
Oh, I'm sorry. 4 years.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I
2016 they were good.
exaggerated
Addison
here.
Reed was good too.
One guy makes a good bullpen.
Familia was good that year too. Wasn't bad. But he's dropped off. Listen,
Yeah,
he's
until the
dropped off.
postseason.
Until the postseason. That's exactly what it
Fell
is.
apart then.
But the thing is,
yeah.
I definitely could
Listen,
see.
I'm jaded. I saw Mariano for 20 years, so
Again,
it's fine.
I think, in my opinion, I really believe that I think Diaz will bounce back. this
Me
year.
too. I agree. He'll bounce.
I mean, you can't get really
So that's
that
it.
much
So
worse
that's
than that.
Right.
Diaz. So that's Diaz. That's Diaz. That's Wilson. That's Lugo. That's Betances. Brad Brock came on last year from Chicago. Did a really good job at that.
He's brought
bullpen.
back. I thought he left.
No,
you
they brought him back.
So the only guy you really have questions about are probably 2, and that's
Familia.
and even Gazelman. And Gazelman is not that bad either.
And I think either Porcello or Waka's going to be in
I
the
think
bullpen
Walker's
at
going to be in
West.
the pen too.
Yeah, so-
Well,
they're both
I would trade somebody then. You don't need 6 starting
you can't
pitchers
trade
on the
anybody
roster.
because you need depth. That's the point.
Well,
Because
I mean,
right, but you
what
also
if
have
Matt-
kids that you want
we
to bring
don't
up.
need Chris Flexen. Well, the only guy that you can bring up that's
Nobody
we
needs
don't-
for Chris
we
Flexen.
don't. That's exactly it. You don't need Chris Flexen. So say somebody goes down, say Matz goes down. Oh, great, Michael Walker can now step in and be that guy, and he could be in the bullpen in the meantime. I don't need to see any more of the nonsense of this Chris Flexen nonsense. Or who else, Speedy, did they have? Random names. that
Chris
we could think of.
Mazza.
Thank you.
And
that's the point. You can
who
never.
was it? The last one.
You're gonna kill me. when you-
The buff guy that looked like he had a beer belly.
Oh,
His first name was a W. I don't remember.
Wilmer, what was it? He went to
Not
Tor-
Wilmer.
He, no,
It
he,
wasn't
he,
Wilmer.
he went to Toronto afterwards. They traded him. It was
Yeah, I'm trying
remember
to
Walter
remember.
Lockett?
Walter
Lockett.
That's it.
No, and who was the other one they got from Tampa? They traded him to Toronto after.
Yeah.
That was the other one that
Right.
they got. But that's the point.
Him and Travis Darno.
You can't.
flourishing together.
Do you sell Jason Vargas?
No.
No.
Thank God.
They traded him in
the
the
No, we traded him to the Phillies.
Oh,
He was let's just say he was not what they hoped for in Philly, which I could have told you that. That
Oh.
ballpark.
that's a fighting Phil.
Well, the point being is this.
Thank you, Speedy.
The point being is this. You can never have enough pitching depth, and I look at it this way. You can never have enough depth in anything, period. Okay? I don't need to see any more random starters. You know? Did they lose Zach Wheeler? Yes. Did the Phillies overpay for him?
Yeah.
Absolutely. they
Yeah, no,
did.
that was a bad contract.
He's
the fact that
getting
he got
40
more than Mad Bum is ridiculous.
He's getting $45 million less than Jacob DeGrom is. The Mets got Jacob DeGrom on a steal. And that's honestly because Brody was
Probably
his
Brody's
guy.
best,
Right.
Brody's best
and
signing
JD,
right there.
and JD Davis. They traded for JD Davis.
JD Davis.
I love
like
JD Davis. The fact that
Him and Conforto, I think, are fine.
The fact
I
that-
really like them both.
the fact that the Pirates asked for JD Davis to send around the package and Brody said no, I said thank God.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
God.
true. We didn't even
Thank
talk about that.
God.
Starling Marte basically got ripped out of the Mets' hands.
To me,
I'm not that upset about
no,
it.
I'm not. I like Nimmo too.
Yeah.
But the thing that really upsets me is the fact that the Pirates asked for that from the Mets and the Diamondbacks. They got 2 of their top prospects, but they're not going to be ready for like another 4 or 5 years. They took.
They didn't even get top prospects.
That's the point. They didn't get guys.
They got like a bag of baseballs.
And
pretty much.
it's funny, you know.
I'd trade Aaron Boone for a bag of baseballs.
My dad. You would. I know you would. You tell Arrow that.
Yeah. You should see the veins in his neck throb when I said.
My dad always told me this growing up. Prospects are paper until they get on the field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the Met fans always brings up Jared Kelnick. And I get that, and I completely understand that. It was a crappy trade.
Yeah.
But Jared Kelnick was his biggest – he was supposed to be the next big thing. Well, they compared Lastix Milwich to the next Manny Ramirez, and Lastix Milwich did crap in the majors.
Oh, he's.
That's the point. Prospects are just paper until
It's
they
a crapshoot.
show you that. That's the one sport where you could get a first-round pick. I think only one first overall pick of all time is in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
It's Ken Griffey.
Right.
It's the only one. And that's an incredible feat that I look at because I say to myself, boy, I get the Met fans are really upset about this Jared Kelenic thing, but you know what? What if, hypothetically speaking...
And Anthony McKay, too, or Anthony Mackie, the kid from Long Island that they traded just now.
Yeah,
that was to the Blue Jays.
That was to the Blue Jays. Anthony, I didn't mind that. Yeah. I like that trade because the thing about Kay is I heard I followed the minor leagues nonstop, and all I heard was I go to Cyclones games. I've been to Binghamton Rumble Ponies games before.
That's a fun name.
It's hysterical. The fans are a riot too up there. They're awesome.
Have you been to Syracuse yet?
What'd you say?
Have you been to Syracuse yet?
Yeah. Not. I want
Utica.
to. That's my next thing. That's my next step. Is to definitely go to Syracuse and get up there.
Wait for a football game. McNabb's due to go back.
I see. I'm trying to think. Now I lost my thought. Now you made me lose my thought because you brought the football.
McKay, AAA, baseball games.
Thank you.
You were following them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll pick up where you want to.
No, but I'm saying, but with it, the thing about Anthony Kay is this: he was predicted to be a 4 or 5 starter. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what he was. And the Mets got Stroman, who didn't perform. Obviously, what they thought he would in the beginning, but I think
wasn't bad though.
He wasn't bad. I think he's going to have a huge bounce
I think
back
it
this year.
I think it was the change of scenery.
That's what I think it was.
A big thing for him.
I think he was just so overhyped being home in New York that I think it got in his head.
That he had
he's a game. He tries his hardest to be the best that he can, and I think he's going to produce so well this year. You can make the case right now. I think the Nationals have the best rotation in the National League East, with obviously with Strasburg, Corbin, and Scherzer. Fair enough.
Right.
I think the Mets are, in my opinion.
Well, the Braves are up there too.
The Braves are there too.
The Braves are the most talented team in the division.
Most talented, but the thing is, if Syndergaard comes back the way he should,
well, he looks great.
That's a game changer then for the Mets in itself.
He looks like he's put on 20 pounds of muscle. He looks jacked.
He never stops.
The guy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, that was the problem the first time that he went
is.
through this. But again, he doesn't use his head enough. That's what I think. He doesn't.
They call him Thor for a reason.
Yeah, well, I think Matt's had a good year last year.
I think that they.
I think Stroman is really good. I didn't mind the Porcello signing because I think in the National League,
I think Porcello and Walker were steals.
Yeah, I thought getting Porcello and when I saw what Walker got, I think it was 1 year for $3 million. I think he got.
Yeah, he's boomer bust. So when he booms, he's really good. He was a Cy Young candidate.
Yeah, remember the World Series run? He was one of the reasons the Cardinals got to the World Series when they played the Red Sox.
They were great. He was great the next year too.
Yeah, and also, I really love the Mets lineup. I love it. I love Conforto in the middle. I'm a big Jeff McNeil guy. You could play that. You could play that dude anywhere.
Yeah.
You can play that guy anywhere you want.
I think you should put him at
the polar bear. We don't need to bring him up.
I think you should just put him at third base, Jeff McNeil.
I'm going to say it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Say it. I think, in my opinion, as bad as a fielder as he is, Wilson Ramos can flat out hit the baseball. He can.
Wilson Ramos isn't bad behind the plate.
No. I think he gets a bad rep because of the stuff that came out about him framing pitches and stuff like that. But framing pitches, who cares? So we're gonna digest that deep into what a catcher is nowadays, and that's a silly way to look at a stat. Then
I'm a big believer in if you're a catcher.
I'm a big in analytics too.
No, I hate analytics.
Oh, okay, good.
You just said you're big into analytics.
Be sarcastic.
Oh, anyway, sarcastic.
Sarcastism
is a
fake.
What?
Fraud.
You?
Who's on first?
What's on second?
Anyway,
my whole thing here is, outside of Pete Alonso, and I've even said this too, Speedy can back me up on this, I think Pete Alonso is the next great Yankee New York captain.
Oh.
No, I meant New York captain, sorry. Calm down. No, he's hopefully.
You saw me?
No, I saw your face. I said, all right, everyone calm down.
Excuse me?
I know how you Met fans get about losing guys to the Yankees.
It's just wishful thinking right there.
No.
You guys can have Harvey if you want.
You know what? I'm going to be honest about something here.
He wanted him a month ago.
Hold on.
A month ago. Last year.
He had that good year in 2014. I said trade him for Paul Goldschmidt right now. Right now, I said at the time.
Goldschmidt? You could have got Mike Trout.
You're right.
The Diamondbacks were not selling Paul Goldschmidt at that time.
For Matt Harvey and a couple of players, they might have.
Yeah. Forget Paul Goldschmidt. You should have went after Trout.
Oh, listen.
Hindsight 2020. So.
You live and you learn.
No, you don't live and you learn. You are supposed to
The Angels
not
weren't going to
duplicate.
sell their best player
Thank
after a
you.
97-win season.
They were not selling Matt Harvey for Mike Trout. They were not.
Anyway,
Goldschmidt maybe.
I would have
Angels
taken a
weren't
gamble
selling.
on Matt Harvey this
I would
offseason.
not.
No way.
You don't want him back in New
Boom or
York.
bust.
Bust.
Triple A.
Bust. He's
Bust
been a
big
bust.
time. He's been a bust.
Right, but hold on.
He can't
Wait a
be in
second,
New
though.
York anymore either.
Matt Harvey's stuff is fine. His head's screwed up.
No, it's not. His stuff is not fine. He's still only throwing
It's his head.
92.
It's his head.
Because he still thinks he can throw 99, and he can't.
It's his head.
He never learned
Right,
how to be a pitcher.
and guess what? Andy Pettit learned that. CC learned that from Pettit. CC could teach Harvey that. Just saying.
I don't think you
And again, Blake's
I
a
don't think
genius.
I don't think he can learn that.
I don't think you can
Blake's a genius.
I don't think you can teach Harvey. Because I don't think Harvey wants to learn.
That's fine. Well, that's why he's got no job. But I'm saying eventually he could go, you know what?
But
If I just listen, why do you think Zach Greinke's still a top 20 pitcher in baseball?
of course, because
He's learned to
learned
adapt.
how to adapt.
Zach
Kershaw
Greinke was
learned
never-
to
Zach
adapt.
Greinke was never velocity.
That's-
Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, right, but he still
He
learned
never
how
threw
to.
99,
All right,
100,
he
never.
still lost velocity.
His
And he was
changeup
hitting
was always his
95,
best
96.
pitch.
That's fine. He was hitting 95, 96 in Kansas City.
But we were
And now he hits 90.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
he learned to adapt.
we were saying
Right, but he was always better with his two-seam fastball too.
Jordan, you were going to say
I mean,
Digging
I'm
too
sure
deep.
you saw Harvey last year. I mean, he was just
it was all over the place.
all over the place, throwing it right down
Couldn't
the
do
middle.
anything.
Right.
There
No,
was,
I'm-
there was no rotation or anything on the ball.
to me, it's a low risk, high reward type thing. Minor league deal. You might not even make the team. What's the harm in bringing him in?
You can't bring him back to New York.
Who are you talking about? The Yankees?
Yeah.
You can't bring him back to New York.
No.
But
You
the
can't-
Yankees to me, outside of I'm very happy with the top two we have. I think Tanaka and Cole are going to be fine. I have questions about Paxton. I have questions about Severino.
So
and
consistent all last year. So yeah, of course.
I actually like
You know.
Paxton, but my thing is,
the last month I like Paxton.
my
The
thing
whole
is,
year he wasn't that great.
My thing is, so you say it's Harvey's head.
Yes.
So bringing him back to New York is going to help his head.
That's when
To
he
the
was.
Yankees
that-
especially?
that's when he was the cockiest, and everyone on the planet knew
has
he wanted to be a
nothing
Yankee.
cocky about
But he
it,
came
because
back to the
has
Mets and he
nothing
still
at
struggled.
all.
He struggled.
If he
showed
could
up-
find that Dark Knight persona,
Never going to
It's
happen.
gone.
It's gone.
I'm
It's
just
gone.
saying, if he could find it, that's a
But
steal.
We were saying before with the Mets. My opinion, I think Cano, could have a bounce back.
Oh, he's done. He's
Rosario,
shot.
Rosario, in my opinion, I think Rosario. You saw the Rosario that the Met fans were waiting for when they brought him up. It took him time.
He's mature.
You gotta remember,
That's
he's
what
22. He's a kid.
Right.
You know
So
what I
is
mean?
Glaber, but Glaber
Yeah.
still performed at a high level.
That's the thing.
Okay, it takes time.
It takes time for certain guys. You know what I mean? That's just the difference. And
Then you got McNeil at third.
you got
Right.
McNeil at third.
Right.
I mean, it's looking like Cespedes is rearing up to.
I'll be honest. If you get the yo-yo that I think you're going to get, that you guys could
You
win
know
the
why
division.
he's going to come
I
back?
mean, he's playing for
You know-
money
you know
now.
what? Bingo. Jordan hit it right in the head. He's all about money. That's why he's going to come back and do the best that he can.
But he is the most injury-prone player you
Oh, you got
have,
that right,
and you're
of
the
course.
most injury-prone team in baseball.
But at the same time, when does he never get injured? When it's about
Show me the money!
That's it. You have J.D. Davis.
Help
who I
me,
love.
help you.
Always.
Jerry Maguire.
Yes. Just watched that the other day, actually.
I think they got to trade Lowry though.
Oh, my God.
I love Jed Lowry. I'll
Holy
take him.
God, I hate him.
Yeah.
Why?
What a waste.
He's a
What a-
solid two-way player.
I don't even know if he's alive.
That's a bad joke.
No, it's not
Especially
a bit.
after your opening topic, that's a bad
Oh,
joke.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
he didn't have
Wah,
that.
wah, wah.
Listen, what I meant by that is I don't know if he's even still around because now
But
I'm hearing
where does he fit now?
when he what
Bench player. That's what you brought him in for.
they just
You're
signed
paying him too much for a bench
they just
player.
brought up Eduardo Nunez. They just signed Eduardo
Yeah.
Nunez.
Oh, that's a good deal, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather him
to
on
a
the
minor
bench.
to a minor league deal. And to be honest with you, they had got Marisnik. You know what? If Ron Lagares is still out there, I'd sign Ron Lagares to a minor league deal and put him in.
I thought you had him already.
No, they
No,
didn't
he was
resign
free
him.
agent. I'd sign him and put
He's
him
a
in
great
Syracuse.
defensive center fielder.
Yeah,
Why
he
would you
hits-
not bring
he
him
hits
back?
185.
Not anymore. He lost so much on his steps.
Yeah,
Because
so
of all
Jake
the
Marisnik
surgeries.
barely hit 200 with the help of cameras.
That's
I'm going to cheat. Oh, man, I still can't hit the ball.
But
Oh.
but the thing is, I would definitely bring Lagares on.
Even
As
if he
a
goes
minor
in the
league
left or right.
Yeah, but it's just like.
Yeah, but he hits 185.
But but now you think about
Defense-
you think
defense
about
matters.
But you think about
That's the reason I want Arenado.
But you
Best infielder defensively in baseball.
But you think about what I said. You look at the roster that it's assembled. It's In my opinion, it's a very good roster.
It's very solid all around.
It's a very solid all-around roster.
There's
This is
no
the-
weakness, but where's
There's
your...
a lot of ifs. There's a couple ifs.
There's a couple of
There's
ifs.
a lot of
know?
ifs.
Yeah, it's always. And you know what? Every team's gonna have ifs.
No.
Yes.
No.
Well, the Astros
what do you
hit
mean?
without cameras.
No, that's just a formality that we're going to have to live by. Now, my question is, because there's going to be a lot of guys that get traded right in the middle of the year. Whit Merrifield's going to be the talk of the town. The Rays are going to probably try to sell somebody high and bring in young guys. Like, I think the Tampa Bay Rays are a team to be worried of in the American League, right? So, I guess the Mets, I'm not saying the Mets are a bad roster, because every year I go through this, right? Met fans get very excited, you get very loud, you get very vocal.
Tyler, I'm not saying they're winning the World Series, but I'm saying they could compete in a division that has lost a lot of star power.
You lost Rendon.
I mean, it's also
Donaldson, who killed
Yeah.
the Mets. He killed the Mets.
Hold on, though.
He crushed the Mets in that last series at Citi
But
Field.
you lose Rendon, but you get Ozuna.
Okay. I'd rather take
You
Ozuna
lose-
over
yeah,
Rendon.
I agree. I think Ozuna. I mean, he was good, but
Speedy, you would agree with that, right?
Not
You would take
Rendon.
Ozuna as a Met fan. You'd be happier to hear Ozuna's name instead of Anthony Rendon's name when you're facing them.
No, not Rendon. I meant Donaldson. I
Oh,
apologize.
Donaldson is different.
Because Ozuna literally is replacing Donaldson. In the
I'm
Braves
not a
lineup.
big Ozuna guy because he's so hit or miss the last 2 years.
Yeah,
And he was on the Cardinals, and he wasn't the be-all
The
and all
Cardinals
guy
is
that he
not
did with
a-
the Marlins.
The Cardinal, yeah, okay. The Cardinals is not a bandbox.
No, it's not a bandbox, but every time somebody goes to St. Louis, the assumption is they
Yep.
turn them around.
Well, that's not true. The last
Jason
two big
Hayward.
guys they got haven't really
Well,
worked.
Dexter
But they also
Fowler.
traded him
But
for-
Jason
No,
Hayward,
Andrew Miller has not looked great. And you've got Paul Goldschmidt, who struggled last year, and Ozuna by your standards.
Goldschmidt only really struggled in the beginning of the season.
second half.
No,
Yeah, no, he had a
the
horrible
first
first
half.
half.
The first half was
horrible.
bad.
Second half was awesome. He had a horrible first half and a great second half.
So
That's
yeah.
But his first half numbers were just atrocious that he just had to make up for them.
right.
He just had to make up for them so bad. And yes, bad taste on me on the Jet Lowry one. Jet Lowry, I know you're still around. Just want to make sure you're healthy. Okay.
I'm glad you came around with that.
Please be a utility man for us, please. Because you've had a year and a half to deal with this leg injury that nobody even knows about.
No, that's a
I
Lowry
mean,
shame.
come on.
That's a real Lowry point of view for you.
They're on a roll.
Oh man.
I am, right?
God. But it's like I'm hearing Brody the other day say, we're hoping that Lowry can come into spring training fully healthy and ready to. What do you mean you're hoping?
Right.
He's had a year and a half from an
Hold
injury
on,
nobody
wait.
knows about.
Hold on, wait. This is almost picture perfectly Jacoby Ellsbury's contract.
No, not as bad because Lowry's last year is this year.
No, Ellsbury's
was.
worse. But hold on,
Ellsbury's
I'll be honest with you. I thought Jacoby Ellsbury was a better signing anyway than Robbie Cano, just for the simple fact that Ellsbury was a leader on that Red Sox team that broke a 100-year curse. He knows how to play in the big moment, and he's going to teach kids hard work. Robbie Cano has the attitude of time to time, I don't care what happens. So I don't want young kids learning that mentality. I want young guys, I guess pun intended.
But I
here.
think he's come around a little bit since he's been joining the Mets.
Cano?
I think he has.
Yeah.
I think
mean-
he has. You could sense it. He has.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
back in
I
New York. It's
understand
probably a
where
little,
he
you
is.
know.
He's more, listen, I know I'm not what I once was. I'm trying to change what I am. I'm going to try to be a leader. Like, when Manny Ramirez was at his down point of his career at the end.
When he was with the Dodgers, you're talking about?
No, not even. There's a little bit after that when he went
With the Rangers.
Yeah, with the Rangers. Then he went to the Rangers. He never changed. Never became a leader. Never did showed up late. Didn't care. Like
Peed on the fence.
That was
That was hilarious.
that was I just. I mean, but that's not even the part that upsets me. It's the Lowry.
Oh,
It's the
I thought
fact that-
Eric Bowe was upset with me. He's upset with you.
Oh, wait. What's he upset with me about? What did
He
he say?
said,
Let's
all
see.
you darn Met fans talking to Yanks and Cashman.
Oh, well, listen, I can be the first to tell you. I think Brian Cashman's an extremely overrated general manager. So if you heard that, Eric, sticking to that point.
Who's the best general manager in baseball? It's really not that hard of a question, guys.
Who would you say then?
Theo Epstein, without question.
I would say Dio's definitely up there. The only thing is just the contract he's giving out the last.
I would have
years,
to
like
agree.
the
I
Darvish
think-
and
Or Shane Bloom. Because what he built in Tampa Bay is amazing.
Chaim Bloom. L'chaim Bloom.
Well, sure, you can have a wee bit more.
You mean the guy that the Mets should have hired? that I wanted the Mets to hire.
Exactly.
That. I mean, they haven't hired a manager.
They're not the smartest.
They haven't hired
Tell.
We know that. I mean, look who's leading the circus, but they haven't even hired a
Wilpon?
manager yet. They haven't hired a manager yet. But they said they're taking a very slow approach to this.
What do you mean?
The Red Sox. They're taking a very slow approach to this manager. I'm like, are you going to have one before spring training or are you not?
Should Dustin Pedroia be a player manager at this point?
It just feels like that.
I don't know if he wants to come back.
Pedroia?
I don't know. I don't think he wants to come
I
back.
think he's just going through a David Wright syndrome where it's just impossible for him to just get healthy and come
Let me,
back.
I'll say this about Dustin Pedroia. He was the guy that I hated seeing the most.
He was a pain in the butt. He was 5'5" and a pain in the butt.
He was 5'2", 80 pounds.
Yeah.
But he busted his ass, and he always got the big hit.
There was
always.
There was one guy I remember in 2006. There was one guy I could not stand facing. David Eckstein.
Same guy.
Right.
Same mentality.
I love David
I hated
Eckstein.
him. I hated
He
him.
was great.
He single-handedly crushed the Mets in that series in the NLCS.
Right.
Yeah.
Those damn Cardinals again.
They had freaking Scott Spezio still hitting home runs off Billy Wagner. Really?
Billy Wagner should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Thank you.
I agree.
Without
Yes.
question.
Scott Spezio, who dyed his beard red for the playoffs.
Another Beltron debacle, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The bobblehead look.
Oh, stop. It was a great
Sway,
pitch.
just
I know, but it was a
sway.
great pitch. That was Ray Wright's coming out party.
Beltran also did well that entire series. So.
Thank you.
No, he's a great postseason player.
But not when it matters
He's
the most.
arguably one of the, not even arguably, he is one of the top 4 or 5 best Mets probably of all, in my opinion, of all time.
Second greatest switch hitter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's probably the greatest free agent signing the Mets have ever had. Think about all the free agent signings they've had. Think.
Oh, we know.
Ain't many. Ain't many.
Yes,
Move
we
on.
know.
Move on.
Oh, it's clearly
I
Bobby
have a
Bonilla.
Mobile Met jersey.
I have a move on bobblehead.
It's
Oh, God.
clearly Bobby Bonilla.
Oh.
No. I got it.
John Franco.
Jason Bay.
Oh, God. What a waste of money that was.
He played 100 games.
Didn't want to sign Matt Holliday, so you signed Jason Bay instead. That worked out well.
It's just a typical Mets move.
Yep.
Well, you can always say it was a holiday party.
Nice. Really
Really?
try.
You had to go there? My first show? I guess. All right, I'll take it.
Listen, it's not like I'm going to go back to the Bay Area.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez. What a way to...
Don't mess with the Johan.
That was a trade.
That was a trade.
Yeah.
Johan Santana would have been great. Hold on.
He looked right. That went right over.
Hold on. Johan Santana
Greatest
was
trade in Met
the
history.
greatest Met trade history, and they blew out his arm because they wanted somebody to finally throw a no-hitter, and he couldn't get an out after that.
I was at that game. Actually.
Yeah? So you're the reason that he couldn't get an out
No,
for 2 weeks?
It was
listen,
worth it.
it was so worth it because at
He
that
was
point,
getting hurt before
He was
that,
getting hurt
too,
before that. And what did Johan really have left at that point? That was and you had Terry Collins was in a position where he didn't really. If he took him out,
He's the real manager in the Mets
stadium-
organization right now, by the way.
The stadium would have rioted if he took out Johan out of that game. Would have. By the way,
What were they going to do? Throw the big apple at him? You bum. Phew.
I got to give the Mets credit though. They had that graphic already after he threw the no hitter.
Yeah.
They had that right when
They had that ready for 15 years.
Right when the
Well,
last
yeah,
strike
they were one of only 2 franchises that didn't have one.
Yes. The other one being
The Padres, isn't it?
The Padres.
and they didn't have a sight.
You know what? I put money on Chris Paddock doing it.
You know what? Yeah,
Chris Paddock will throw the
Hey, you know
Padre
what's
no
funny?
hitter.
I
He has
heard
the
this.
stuff.
I heard
Oh, he's
this
freaking
on
amazing.
Pete Alonso won't break it up. That'll be hysterical. He'll laugh at him as he runs the bases.
that would be.
Haha, you should be on this side, Dukas.
Hey, you suck.
All right, Pee Wee Herman, calm down.
But you know what's funny is I heard this earlier, not earlier, like last month on the Morning Boys. I guess you know how managers now are very cautious in terms of extending pitchers into the games, and they'll pull them even when they have a no hitter. Now it's so
course.
popular. The Padres manager in like the '90s did that before it was even popular.
It wasn't even Bochy, right? Because Bochy
No.
Okay.
Bochy was playing, I think, at that time, and ever since then, I've heard of a no hitter.
They never got hit for the cycle to when?
Brian Giles.
Yeah.
How do you go that one without us? I mean,
The Giles
no
brothers.
hitter.
Hold
No
on.
hitter, fine,
The
but-
Giles brothers
Brian
were
Giles
great.
is a good player.
Brian Giles and
Very
Marquise
underrated
Giles are. I loved
Man,
Marquise
Marcus
Giles.
Giles wasn't as good, but
Marcus Giles was nowhere near as good.
I liked him though. The
Until
little
Bri-
bastard was always scrappy as hell.
Until Brian then had the incident in the bar with the,
Yeah, well,
No, I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking about,
kinda-
honestly.
It was on camera. He hit a woman.
Oh, well. There goes a Hall of Fame career down the drain.
There's
That's
just a lot. You know what? There's so much. You know what I'm saying? Because with the Starling Marte stuff, part of me is happy that they didn't do it because.
typical Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Somebody stopped Brody and said, "Don't do it. You cannot do this again." Okay? You took the chance on Diaz and Cano. We cannot trade the farm system again. And to be honest with you, the farm system has some nice players. They have Francisco,
You got 4 top 100 guys.
Francisco Alvarez there. Ronnie Mauricio is there.
The pitcher.
Brett Beatty, who they just got.
That's the best name in baseball.
Brett Beatty.
Oh, it's not Batty.
I don't think it's bad.
Beatty.
No, I think
I
it's
think
Brett
it's
Beatty.
Beatty.
It's Brett
Beatty.
Beatty. And
that's
who's and it's not Peterson's not the pitcher on the top 100.
No, he's
No,
not.
didn't Tim Peterson get traded with the
No,
Kalanick?
they got David Peterson, the lefty that they got
Oh,
from,
yeah.
from Oregon.
Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's Mauricio. It's not
A sport the Pac-12 are so good at.
Jimenez is not there. I don't think on the list anymore.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Oh, so that's the fourth.
He's a little lower. I think he's like 78.
So
or
that's
something
the
like
fourth.
that.
Yeah,
That's the
there's a
fourth. So
catcher, a
it's-
shortstop,
Alvarez
third base.
is going to be a stud. He's way beyond what his age is right now for playing right now. He's going to soar as a catcher.
His leap was so sudden. I'm
It
still a
was
little
so-
worried, but
But you know what? You take what you have right now. I think, they got. I want to see what Kilome has, the guy they got back from the Cabrera trade. Because I thought he was a top 100 prospect. They got him back from the Phillies. He just had Tommy John.
he was never a top 100 prospect.
No, he was. He was on the list when they got him.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I have to see again. I thought he was. I know he was definitely top 5 for the Phillies prospects when they got him in the
Right,
Cabrera
but the
deal.
Phillies farm system was
Well,
very
it was
thin
horrible.
because most of their guys came up.
I have to see if he was top 100. I'm not sure, but he had very good numbers. That's why the Mets wanted him, and he had Tommy John, and then unfortunately that slowed everything down. But apparently there's a report that came out that the Mets also signed like the best international
I saw
pitching prospect too.
Yeah.
Recently from Venezuela, I think it is.
that. I don't know his name, but I read the.
I can't remember his name. He's turned into being the best international guy that they signed. So it seems like they have.
Well, you going to have Venezuela mania running
Omar
around?
Minaya.
No, Mom. That's
God.
it. No, but it's true though. That's the reason. When Minaya was running things, their international scouting was unbelievably good.
That's one.
Their
Of the
minor
main,
league system was really
that's
good.
one of the main reasons they brought him back.
It was really good. Their minor
No,
league
no,
system.
I
It
know.
was.
Well, they brought him back because he only lost his job because he got sick.
No, well, he also called out Adam Rubin.
Yeah.
Called him in with the report and said, "You're an idiot." And then it was like, "No." And then Adam Rubin wound up getting interviewed by all the media reporters. He's like, "Why am I here?" Apparently, he tried to steal his job. Apparently, that was an interesting when that happened. Oof. But I think both New York teams. I think this will be a really fun baseball season for both New York teams. I really do. I think the Yankees should be the favorites for the World Series. I think the Mets. I think.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. I don't want that.
The Mets
It's
don't play
true.
in one of the hardest divisions.
No,
so
I
it's
don't.
gonna
I
be
don't
fun.
want to be favorite to win the World
I know you
Series.
don't. You want to be that underdog because
You
don't.
definitely are.
You
though.
do.
Yeah, the
You
Yankees,
are.
because the Yankees are always the underdog.
Yeah, really. They didn't just sign Garrett Cole for how much money to be the underdog at this point.
You were the clear favorite.
Listen, right, but I know, but just wait till we get on there and not in 5 minutes.
Oh man.
10-26.
Yep, or 10-16, whenever it happens.
Was that your guess?
No, that was
No,
his,
everything
that
happens
was
after the
his,
show ends.
That was his. No, because Tuesday Tyler did his tribute show to Kobe Bryant and on the other victims. So he was trying to end the show at 10:24. We ended up ending at 10:32, which is 8 plus 24. So, but he was saying how I'm trying to, because he was struggling to fill the time because he was trying to end at 10:24. He's like, he was trying to get, all right, hopefully a trade rumor pops up. He's like, watch, Mookie Betts will get traded at 10:26. So I've been driving him on with that since, which is 18 minutes away, and you've had a nice Super Bowl preview so far.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
quick.
didn't even get to that.
Yeah, quick.
Real quick.
Give your game predictions and MVPs and stuff.
All right, for me, I'm gonna go San Francisco 38, Kansas City 24.
Okay, I could agree with that.
My MVP prediction. Kittle's the obvious one, but I'm gonna go Jimmy G.
Oh.
Yeah, another.
I think
another
Jimmy
one
G is
that's a
more
real dark
obvious.
horse.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I could have said.
Yes, the quarterback is really not an obvious one.
Because everybody's talking about George Kittle all week, best tight end in football, this and that.
Right.
And people were saying
Here's the problem, though. Kittle has been used on more snaps as a blocker this postseason.
But the problem, too, was the fact that 2 weeks ago he only threw the ball 10 times. So people are now saying, oh, okay. As we were talking about earlier, is he a game manager? Which
That
is
is absolutely. Thank you.
It's an egregious statement. I could say Raheem Morstead is also another one I could win.
Would you say he's immobile?
No. I think he
Garoppolo?
got.
Who said it was immobile?
Nothing. I
No.
remember an argument I had not
No.
too long ago that made me so mad.
No. I think he moves around just fine in the pocket.
Yeah, he runs outside the pocket.
He runs.
Yeah.
I don't.
He popped his ACL
mean,
right around the pocket,
Look, he's not.
That was his own
about
fault.
10 yards downfield.
That was his own fault. He didn't go out of
I'll
bounds.
say this.
Yeah, agreed.
Really quick, I'll say this. The best thing I could have happened to the 49ers was losing all those games last year and getting Nick Bosa in the draft.
Oh my God.
That's the best thing I could
Do
have
you
happened to
see
the
what happens when you draft properly, people? You get a pass rush.
Yeah.
Jesus God.
I'm waiting for Quentin Williams to do something.
Oh, that's right. You're a Jets fan.
Not going to happen.
Good luck
Everything
with
you
that.
do is wrong.
You got that right.
Would you trade? Hey, do you think Le'Veon Bell's going to get traded?
No.
No.
No?
His
I, thi-
contract's too
I,
much.
think, I think they're going to sign Jamal.
No, his contract's not that bad.
I think they're going to sign Jamal long term. I think because
They have to.
they have to.
If they trade Jamal
They're not.
Adams,
They're not.
every Jet fan on this
They're not.
network's getting
They're not.
our absolute
Not
beating
only,
from
not,
me.
only, not only are they not going to trade him, but you heard Jamal even come out and say, "I want to." Thank God he said it. I want to be here long term.
No, I don't
Thank
think
God
he wants to leave. No, I
Landon
don't think-
Collins
No.
said the same thing. They kicked him to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, but Jamal's
Yes, but
way
nobody.
better. Jamal's a better player.
He's not
Tyler-
way better.
Tyler-
He's not way better.
Would anyone besides Dan Snyder have given him that contract?
Thank you.
No.
But whoa, hold on here. Hold on. And this is why I get mad.
No.
Landon Collins several times said, I will work to earn my long-term
not
deal.
justifying the Giants.
I will sign the franchise tag.
Jamal-
They weren't even smart enough to franchise
I'm not
tag him.
I'm not justifying the Giants, but I'm just saying. Think about that. Once he entered free agency, is anyone matching the Redskins?
Bradley
contract?
Beal's not on the all-star team?
But
Retards. This is why nobody watches basketball anymore.
going back,
Retards.
yeah,
That's stupid. Sorry.
going back to no, it's fine. But what everybody was saying earlier about making the jokes about Jimmy G and everything like that. I think the 49ers actually even there's a playoff bracket that I'm in, and I actually am still alive in it. I had 49ers Chiefs before the playoffs started. Everybody called me crazy.
Wow.
I said
Okay.
the
I would have called you
Chiefs-
crazy too.
Yeah, I actually had them beating Baltimore in the AFC Championship game.
No, you know what's funny is the Chiefs ended up with the one matchup I thought they weren't going to be in trouble with.
Tennessee.
With Houston.
Oh, with Houston.
No, actually, I didn't think they would beat Tennessee. I actually picked the
when
Titans.
Houston went up 21.
I thought they would-
21,
I
said,
thought-
boom. I said.
I thought the Chiefs were going to lose to Buffalo. I thought if Buffalo won,
I said.
I was picking the Bills.
I said Kansas City has this. This is not a concern.
But the Texans, I
I had
know.
New England.
The Texans.
No,
knew
I
they
didn't trust
weren't,
them. No, but the moment I said the 49ers are the perfect team, it was the game in Baltimore, where they traveled for a 1 o'clock start, mind you,
Right, on the West Coast.
on the West Coast, which is what 10 a.m.
11.
10 a.m. And they play, and they almost beat them. And I said, this team is the perfect team. They have everything: offense, defense, special teams, coaching,
In the trenches.
And it's perfect. Everything. Their front seven, again, as we said earlier, they don't have to do what the Titans only blitz 3. The Titans don't have a pass rush.
But the Titans had great coverage.
But
packages,
that's the
though.
thing. But the problem is with the Chiefs are all speed. So
Right.
eventually they're just going to bust.
Well, the
it,
Titans
and they're
have a
gonna get
pass
open.
rush. They're just not as good as the 49ers.
That's the problem. So you could do a 3-man rush. You can 4-man. You could do that.
They got more
and
than
it's,
4.
No, I know they have more than 4, but I'm saying you could do that if you want to. You could drop Quan Alexander back in the box. You
D
could have
Ford,
D
right.
Ford on the edge, who, by the way, played for the Chiefs last season.
Right.
So I'm sure he knows what they're doing and what they're
Yeah,
calling.
Imagine
anyway.
they lose the game on another offsides
hold on,
penalty.
that's too
If
front
not
row.
for that, the Patriots lose. Man.
I don't think so.
I do,
I
because
really
you do an
don't.
interception.
That's not guaranteed, though, because the
There
Patriots
was a
still
lot
had
of
2
time.
timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
No.
So they would have had to get another first down.
Mahomes had
maybe
it.
2.
Mahomes had it.
It wasn't up to Mahomes.
Patty had it. Once they got it, and then it wasn't.
No, that's not-
Patty had it.
That's not
Andy
guaranteed.
Reid has yet to win a Super Bowl for a
That's
reason.
not. Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about Andy Reid. I'm talking about that's not guaranteed either, because if they struggle to get good yardage on first down, they could always trick the Patriots and pass on second down. To beat the Patriots, you have to be unconventional.
Yeah, well,
Jordan.
I think Kansas City is going to win.
Whoa.
And I think it'll be a very close game, maybe 30-27. And I do think Mahomes will be MVP.
All right, I can see it.
I can see it. I can see it going either
I think
way.
it's to be very close. I think that, as great as 49ers defense is, and I understand that they are great, I think that the offense is very good, and I think that it's going to be tough to match up with them. And then I also think the 49ers offense is good, but I don't think they have the weapons that the Kansas City Chiefs have.
I was going to say, I think the problem that the 49ers could face is if with Tyreek Hill, you hope says that, is if Richard Sherman's the one that's guarding him.
I mean, it's like they
See, but Richard Sherman has the size to press him.
He
though.
absolutely does.
I think.
but he doesn't follow, so
Well, no, he's a zone press coverage guy.
Yeah.
That's what he was in Seattle too.
Yeah.
The Seahawks played a lot of man with their linebackers and zone with their corners, or they would flip flop. But Richard Sherman was better as a zone press guy.
To me, the 49ers are the perfect team. They have everything you wanted it. They have everything you want, literally. Offense, defense. Robbie Gould doesn't miss.
Well, Harrison Butker is also a phenomenal kicker.
Yeah, I mean,
Butker's a better distance kicker.
If Robbie Gould didn't get hurt earlier in the year, they beat Seattle.
But the kicker they even replaced him with was good.
Well, any kicker that leaves the Chargers is always better with their next team.
But the point is this: we were saying about with regards to Jimmy G, does he have that clutch? Clutch ball.
I don't think he's the issue with clutch because I think he is a good late game
How
quarterback.
many comebacks did he have this year in a 2 minutes offense? He was
4,
great in
5?
He was great in the 2 minute offense. The Seattle game, no offense, Tyler.
What?
Sorry.
He's a Saints fan.
I'm a
not
Saints
Seahawks.
fan.
I know. I'm saying. I said the Saints game.
You said
came back-
Seattle.
Oh, I meant Saints game.
Oh,
Seattle game
sorry.
2.
No,
Seattle game
right,
2.
right.
Sorry, Seattle game 2. The Baltimore one, he was close. Came very close to beating them.
Listen, as long as Drew
Right, but
Brees wins one
hold on.
more, that's fine.
The
How much of that
Rams
Saints one though was George Kittle getting 30
game-
yards
I
plus
know.
a penalty
Yeah,
after the catch?
The Rams game.
Which
You
I
did
don't
that.
blame, by the way, because if I'm Marshawn Lattimore, I would have hit him too. So
Marcus Williams.
But it's just to the point of, just like it's like you said, Tyler. You said he had 4 or 5 comebacks this year in a 2 minute span. It's been offense. He in a no huddle against he
the hardest
thrives
dome in the NFL to
in-
play in.
The Minnesota game, he
My
thrived in
concern
the no
isn't with
huddle.
Garoppolo; it's more with the receivers.
yeah, I was going to say,
anything else.
I think the receivers
Yeah.
are the big issue here. I think
Right.
that even though Kansas City's defense is not 49ers defense,
But the
I
Chiefs'
think
defense,
they're going to drop the ball
the
quite
Chiefs
a
have
lot.
a good secondary.
They
though.
do.
I'm
They
not.
do.
Their
I am
concern
not
is more
giving
their
away my
linebackers.
MVP right now. I'm not going to do so.
We got tomorrow's show. So.
I do have tomorrow's show.
I got an unconventional.
For a
MVP,
dark
too.
horse, though, Emmanuel Sanders could have a big game.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Emmanuel Sanders could have a very big game.
That's very fair. I think so too. But I mean,
Kyle Shanahan knows how to get guys open.
also look back at Raheem Morstead's old numbers during the year. He had
You know-
some
you know who
big-
signed
he had
Raheem
some
Mostert?
Big numbers in some of the games.
You know who-
Browns.
No. After that,
The Jets
the New York freaking
for
Jets.
7 days.
Yep.
Jets. He called it hell.
Yep.
Explains a lot.
Yes, because everyone walks to the Jets.
Well, he has me, you,
Everyone
and
walks to the
Josh
Jets and
blocking
call
for
it
him, so
heaven.
that's really all he needs to know. And Speedy
You
Petey
don't
is
have
his
to-
tight end.
Tell me. Every year a tight end has one good year. We just sign him to an extension,
Right.
and then they get hurt the next year.
Well, Herndon's going to be.
But
Well,
again-
hold on.
but
Justin
Herndon
Keller
was
got
good.
knocked out by Ray Lewis. That's what happened to him.
But again, it goes.
But
To,
Dustin Keller was still a big reach in
hey,
the draft.
I also have a Chris Herndon Jet jersey. It's disgusting as that is, and I got Owen, but Ryan Griffith too. We signed him to an extension because he was having a very good year. So we'll see. And then he got hurt after the extension. It always happens.
You should have drafted Hawkinson.
No.
Oh my. Ugh.
Hawkinson
Jets,
played.
The Jets were not going to draft him. They were going to.
You could have traded
Do you
down
remember who was drafting?
the GM you
Mikey,
fired afterwards.
Mikey Mack.
After
Who was this big
you
scout?
fired him.
Who was this big
What
scout
was it?
because he was behind the J.J. Watt pick for the Texans.
You weren't passing up on one of the star pass rushers, and if you were trading back, you were drafting
He didn't
Jonah
play!
Williams.
Josh
Okay,
Allen. I
who
wasn't
knew?
Josh Allen. I mean,
Right,
You
that's
should
one
have
of the
known.
star pass
You drafted him.
rushers.
You drafted him. I said Ed
Quinn
Oliver was
Williams-
the best interior defensive player in
Ed
that
Oliver
draft.
wouldn't have fit that defense.
Williams?
No, Ed Oliver. Ed
Oliver
Oliver's gonna
wouldn't
be
have
a
fit that
stud.
defense.
no shot.
He's not a 3-4 guy.
He's not a 3-4,
He's
exactly.
perfect for Buffalo because they're
But you didn't even know who your defensive coordinator was at that point.
Yeah, we did. We had Williams.
Yeah, they did.
They
Yeah,
had
they
Williams.
did.
They
Yeah,
signed
they
Greg
did. Yes,
Williams
they
at the time. Hey, Greg Williams.
Nah. All right, I
Now,
apologize.
now
My
the question
memory's
is
a
if
little
Greg
foggy.
Williams would have switched to a 4-3. Now, if that's the case, Ed Oliver would have been a pick, but I think you could have gotten him trading back too, though.
I think traded Leonard Williams for nothing.
I think Greg Williams probably wanted Josh Allen, and Mike McCann said, "No, we're not doing it. We're just going to take."
Well,
the
Josh
pick.
Allen's a
We're gonna
hybrid.
sit
He
pick."
could fit both defenses.
Yes,
He's a good hybrid.
He probably said, "Okay."
But
we're
Quinnen Williams can too. Quinnen Williams could be a 4-3.
I think he
rusher.
could still be a good player.
He is a good player.
That's the thing. He doesn't rush.
Stop sounding like Errol, please.
He doesn't rush the passer like. I mean, look.
Because it's harder for a 3-4 end to get to the quarterback.
That's exactly what it is. When you're double and
That's
triple team, that's the problem.
But hold on, just real quick, because we're gonna go here. But that's why I say Khalil Mack's better than Aaron Donald, because Khalil Mack has.
No,
to
my
actually
argument
go
wasn't
outside.
Khalil Mack wasn't better than Aaron Donald. My argument when we had this about a month ago wasn't that Khalil Mack is a better player, because I agree with you, he's a better player. My argument was Aaron Donald's single season 20.5 sacks as a 3-4 and 3-4 defensive tackle was more impressive than Khalil Mack's multiple position Pro Bowl season. That's all I said. Because it's really hard for 3-4 defensive linemen to accumulate double-digit sack totals at all. Then you're doubling that and making it 20. That's insane.
I just have to ask just one question. It's nothing to do with.
Do you have to?
I have to. Really
Okay.
quick. Do we believe Mitchell Trubisky is anything special?
No.
Thank you.
I don't think it was all his fault this year, but
hold on.
I never liked him as a prospect.
I'll take this a step further.
Thank you.
That is the first sign that John Lynch is a football genius. I knew he was a football genius
God, really?
watching him in Denver.
Really?
But Denver and
That was not a sign he was a genius.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Absolutely was. We're going to take Mitchell Trubisky.
And you still took the wrong player.
Who? Solomon
The
Thomas?
Niners? They didn't need Solomon Thomas.
But he was better. Hold on. They got so much back for that trade, even if they would have drafted
Lattimore.
right.
Or
but-
Jamal Adams. Okay.
Okay. No, I'm not saying there weren't better
Lattimore
players.
was a bigger need. Adams was a better player.
You know who was number one on the Jets draft board in that draft?
Mitchell Trubisky.
It was Mitchell Trubisky.
Again, tells
Can
a lot.
you imagine the Jets took
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that's
So
right.
look.
Yes, I can. It's
yes,
in my
'cause-
head now.
yes, the Jets and the Bears. Great quarterback.
Yes, I
franchises.
can. I can take.
But hold on.
I
you
love
guys
Sam Darnold,
overhyped
but-
Sam Darnold, too. I don't think Sam Darnold's all that special.
Yeah, I think he can be a good player.
Better than Trubisky, so
Give
tell
him,
That's not hard.
listen.
That's not saying
Listen.
much. That's like saying
Give
Dak
him-
is better
listen.
than Lamar Jackson.
Give
at this
him,
point.
give him an offensive line.
Which you said just last year. but
give
okay.
him an offensive line.
No, Dak is better than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, he still is? Okay.
Yes.
Give him.
Did you see his Pro Bowl performance? God, Jesus.
the Pro Bowl?
Did you see Dak's Pro Bowl
The
performance?
Pro Bowl where nobody even wants to touch each other anymore.
I didn't watch the Pro Bowl. I was at the Pro.
That was
I
a
wasn't
joke.
watching the Pro
That
Bowl.
was a
That's
joke.
just big flag football.
No, Tyler, that was a joke because Dak Prescott wasn't there.
He's playing golf. He's in Cabo trying to get his next
No,
contract.
he's at the waste management.
taking the Zeke.
He's at the waste management classic.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. But all I know is Dak and Zeke are probably going to go to Cabo, and Dak will hold out till the first, Thursday of the year and sign a long-term deal, $40 million a year, and then he pops his arm out.
He better learn how to throw. Mike McCarthy going to make him throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
About 45, 50 times. So
And Zeke better learn how to catch.
Yeah.
And
what
yeah.
happened when Eddie Lacy forgot how to
I think
catch?
they'll find a
He
guy.
got
Oh,
cut.
he got cut.
I don't-
Done.
Hey, Big Lace, yeah?
I don't
You're out.
think-
How about what? Of a job.
I don't think Zeke's going to be as primary of a pass catching back. I think McCarthy finds guys to rotate. He did that.
Tony
in Green
Pollard
Bay
can
very
catch out of the
effectively.
backfield, so if they do that, that's
Can
one
you bring
thing.
Ty Montgomery back?
Really?
He's a Jet.
Really?
It was only 1 year.
Ty Montgomery? That's what you're resorting to?
Hey, listen, he's a free agent running back.
Really?
Former
He's a
Packer.
franchise running back?
I don't
Free
think
agent.
he's anything. No, he's a free
Oh,
agent.
I thought you said franchise.
What?
I almost threw my phone at your head.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hold on. Let me just ask you this question because I've been arguing this now because there's a lot of ridiculous fans here. Who's the best running back in football?
Don't say Saquon.
No.
Who's the best running back in football?
It's a tough question.
It's hard.
It's really not that hard. There's two acceptable answers here.
I know one of them is.
If you're going to go by skill set or if you're going to go by this season, there's two answers here that you can both get right.
Henry.
No.
Okay, then who?
Zeke.
No.
No, not Zeke. No.
No, according to
McCaffrey, guys. Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey
Or
Waller.
Saquon Barkley.
Hold
Those
on.
are the only
No.
two answers we have.
Jordan,
I don't like Parker.
You should have heard the argument that Tyler was having with the Beef a couple of weeks ago. He was trying to make the case that Zeke wasn't a top 10 running back.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did it.
Do you like Aaron? Do you like Aaron Jones from Green Bay?
I do.
Prove it more.
I
Prove
would
it more.
put-
He's skilled.
I would prove Aaron Jones
I
over
love Aaron
Zeke.
Jones.
But
Love
look at what you've got here, right? You've got Saquon McCaffrey. I think Le'Veon Bell this season will turn it around because Le'Veon Bell needs to get the rust off.
Line.
So Le'Veon Bell will
You're
come
still
back.
the Jets.
Well, that's true too. Derrick Henry.
They had a run with Mark Sanchez. If they could do that, then they could.
Derrick Henry.
Yes, and since that offensive line
No one's
retired, they haven't built it.
That's the point. And now they have a GM that was a former offensive lineman. That will
Yeah,
put
he
his
built a really good
stature-
line with the Eagles and Ravens.
Yes, that's the point. He'll have his stature to put into the offensive line.
Do you
And
remember
he
my
said that.
10?
Okay.
Do you remember the 10 guys?
All right. I remember
Saquon, McCaffrey.
Your top 5 was Saquon, McCaffrey, Nick Chubb,
Yes.
Derrick Henry, and Dalvin Cook, I think. And
Yes.
then it was Melvin Gordon. Here was the controversial one, Joe Mixon. That was the one you were really getting at the beef with.
Yes. Joe Mixon, I think, is special. He's special.
It's a great catch.
I mean, he has a.
He has
running back.
his offensive line's worse than the one in New York called the Jets.
That's true.
He would upgrade if he went to the Jets' offensive
That's
line.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. The Bengals have Bobby Hart starting
Yeah,
at right
that's true.
tackle.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
not
they brought
sad.
in Eric Flowers.
No, the Redskins did. And he actually
No,
played
they cut him.
No, he's
Cincinnati.
He
No, they
started
didn't.
for Redskins.
No, the Bengals never had
started
Eric
for
Flowers.
them.
I know they moved him to guard. They didn't cut him after
no,
that.
they didn't cut him. They
No,
used him.
Oh,
he
Jesus
actually didn't
God.
play that bad as a guard.
That's because he just stands there.
Oh, yeah, it's
He
easier-
doesn't move.
Right, which is easier as a traditional run team interior offensive lineman. Let's see. I'm trying to remember who your other ones were.
You're at Mixon.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Nixon,
Eric's
no,
like
I'm trying
sad.
to remember who his
say?
other ones were.
I feel bad that Eric's not here. He's like, "Good job, guys. I hope I'm there next week." Like,
Oh, this was the one I thought you were really nuts on. What you said, Chris Carson?
did I say Chris?
Yeah,
Carson?
you did. You did.
Oh,
I was ripping you on that one, but let's see.
I mean, most of them are decent, but that one.
Oh, Kamara and
Kamara.
Yeah.
So that's 9.
That's 9, which that one's fair. And what was the last one?
you said Chris Carson? Really? You said Chris Carson?
I
I
thought he
don't
was
think
crazy
so.
for that.
I don't think I did. I think I said Carson's is an argument I could make for him to be 11th.
No, I'm pretty sure
Yes.
you had them there. Let's see.
I said,
No. I just no.
Chris
saw
Carson's not
numbers.
even top 10.
I just saw the numbers. No.
He's a-
no, I don't think I said Chris Carson.
I'm
That
pretty
doesn't
sure
sound
you
right.
did.
Speedy seems to.
I know I mentioned Darius Geis being able to do it. I know I said I
Right, but
think Darius Geis
Geis-
would be there.
yeah, we'll see.
Did we name one running back that's in the Super? Did he name one that's in the Super Bowl this week?
No.
No.
It's crazy.
Well, no.
Well,
'cause
this
they're-
was a month ago.
No, that's what I'm saying.
right,
still.
but also
Mark Ingram, I mentioned.
Yeah, that might have been it.
I said Tevin Coleman.
Coleman as
no.
a runner, you got to account for it too.
Yeah.
Well,
Coleman-
Morster. I think
Coleman
at
as
this
a
point.
runner for his first 2 years in Atlanta was good, but recently he wasn't.
No,
good.
I said Philip Lindsay, jackass.
Okay, that was 10. All right.
You didn't have Aaron Jones in there?
I didn't even mention Aaron Jones. That's 11.
Aaron Jones is
That's 11.
5.
And he has double-A douchebag as his quarterback.
Oh God, really? You're gonna be one of those people again?
Aaron Rodgers needs to go. He needs to leave.
No, he doesn't. My dad's a Packer fan, so my dad would.
Oh, yeah?
My dad would agree with you.
Oh, he's awful. He's
My mom's a 49er. We're all
awful.
different. My mom's
Really?
a 49er fan, so she's ecstatic.
bandwagoner.
No, she's not.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Well, when
she's
she was
wild.
growing up, you were dealing with
Joe
Walsh,
Montana.
Montana, Rice, bandwagoner.
It's easy.
Anyway,
My brother's a Dolphin,
Oof, that's
he's a dolphin.
and I'm Jet. Yep.
Do you see him in the ocean often, or you just kind of let him swim?
I
Or?
like to throw him in the ocean sometimes after the comments he makes.
Okay.
He was convinced the Dolphins were going to be that bad this year to be the worst. And I said, no way.
What's your brother's name?
Evan.
Evan?
Yeah.
There's an Evan that works here.
No, it's not my brother.
No, I know.
My
I
brother-
just think that's
my brother
ironic.
lives in New Jersey.
Oh, he's 2 for
Sorry.
2. He's 2 for 2.
No, but
He lives in the dump and he's a Dolphins fan.
he was convinced that the Dolphins were going to be the worst team in football. I said, no way, with that roster. I said, no, with Fitzpatrick as your quarterback, Fitzpatrick will
You're
get
acting
you.
like they were a great team this year.
No, I'm not. But they were. I knew they were. I said the Bengals roster is
way worse.
No way you
No.
Oh yeah.
The Bengals,
Bengals roster is good.
The Bengals roster is below average, but it's actually not as bad as
William
people
Jackson's
think.
a stud. Jesse Bates I like in the secondary.
Darquez Denard.
Yes, I like him too.
Drake Kirkpatrick, they still have.
I like him too.
They
Geno
just
Atkins is there.
Bengals
AJ
just
Green is there.
right.
Andy Dalton's all right.
Atkins is still there?
Joe Mixon,
Yeah, he's still there.
The Bengals' problem is they just have a lot of big weaknesses.
Jonah
It's
Williams
not-
got drafted there.
It's not a terrible roster.
Yeah, their head coach just
No, you're
sucks.
fair. Yeah. Well, they
The Dolphins had Ryan Fitzpatrick, a Josh Rosen that the league should just pay his salary to and say, we're sorry you got such a bad deal the past 2 years. And, let him move on.
But that's a Baker Mayfield.
What about Baker Mayfield?
Do we like
Baker
do we think-
Mayfield.
No.
Mayfield's not
Shut up.
a
Shut up. Ah!
He's not a
Hold on.
bad.
Hold on.
No.
No.
I mean,
Let him. Let him.
no.
Let him
Baker
speak. Let him speak. Let him speak. What do you think about Baker Mayfield? What do you think? Hello. Hey. What do you think? I'm talking to you.
I know what he thinks
I'm
about
talking
Baker
to
Mayfield
you.
already.
I'm talking to you.
I think he's overrated.
Oh,
my opinion.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Goodbye.
I would
All
have to
right,
agree.
we're out of here. End the show, somebody. End it now.
Sorry.
End it now. Did you get hit in the head by a football when you were little?
A couple of times.
All right, there you go.
But I had a helmet on, so I don't think it really hurt that much.
Well, Antonio Brown got hit pretty hard in the helmet,
Yeah,
too.
he got. No, it's not. It's just. To me personally, I don't think he has. I think he has all the talent in the world.
Okay,
The
so
problem-
how is he
The problem
overrated?
with him is he doesn't have his head on his shoulders the correct way, and he doesn't have leadership around him that's going to make him that better quarterback.
I think.
No, he plays for the Browns.
I mean, it's also
yeah, so the Browns have all the leadership
There
in
it
the
is.
world.
also after the
How's that
Vontez
Baker's
Burfict hit,
fault?
He's not going to be what everybody thought. Everybody made him out
No.
to be a
No,
top
I
five
didn't like him as a
quarterback.
prospect, and I
No.
admit he's a little better than I thought.
Everybody made him out to be a top 5 quarterback this year because of the weapons they got. And
Yes,
and
yes, we all, yes.
Fantasy-wise,
Hold
and
on,
it was a
though.
disaster.
Hold on. You are running into a cluster, what, of an organization. Your head coach is awful. Your offensive line deteriorated.
Wait, do you like the new head coach then?
No,
I don't. That was a horrible choice.
Eric Bieniemy should have been their coach.
yeah.
The enemy or
No,
should
or
have
the
been Saleh?
defensive court. Yes,
Or Saleh, yeah.
Saleh
Saleh.
should have been
Or
it.
Saleh, yeah.
That's the guy.
I mean, have you
think.
seen?
They specifically.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Drew.
Well, have you seen Baker's footwork? His mechanics are awful.
Well, no, he's not. He's not a
awful.
great quarterback. Nobody's
His
saying.
mechanics. Hold on.
Nobody's saying he's great. He actually had the.
Wait.
He had the most interceptions from a clean pocket.
Hold on. Hold on. A kid that got not once but twice went into a flagship college organization or alumni.
Here we go.
Won the starting job.
Here we go.
Won a Heisman.
Here we go.
Went into just hard places to play. Like, I don't know, Ohio State. Put his flag in the ground and said, we're here now, MFers. I own you now.
This was college.
It was college.
Right.
So then
No,
Nick,
no, I
and then
get
Nick,
it. I
and
get
then
it.
Nick Bosa trolled him hard. In the Ravens.
Nick Bosa was on that team, and Nick Bosa probably remembered it. But
Oh yeah,
Of course.
and he trolled
Nick
it hard.
yeah, well, listen, Nick Bosa is going to be something special too. Nick Bosa is the best draft pick in the past 3 years.
But it wasn't even. It was also the fact that the owner came out and said, "We hired the head coach for the Browns, the new coach from Minnesota." But it wasn't even based on the playoff game they just had against San Francisco. I said, how do you not take that into account?
They're the
Saleh
Browns.
just owned your new coach, and you're
They're
okay with it.
the Browns.
You're okay with it. It's just.
They're the Browns. Anyway.
how long before Beckham's out?
He'll be a Patriot by March.
Man, what a mess that
He's
team
not
is.
getting traded.
He's not getting traded. They traded enough to get him. They ain't trading him after 1 year. Trading a first rounder for him. And what else? What did the Giants get? And
A third, first and
and
third,
Jabril Peppers. Can't forget
and
Jabril
Jabril Peppers,
got,
who's a mess.
Kevin
They
Zeitler.
got the tackle.
No,
And the
Zeitler
guard.
was a different trade.
Zeitler.
Zeitler. Yeah.
That was a different trade. That was for Vernon.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying they got Zeitler as
No,
well.
I'm telling Jordan.
Yeah, it was still.
It wasn't the.
It was
Odell
still a good trade.
It was a first round. It was a first and a third.
That
round
Vernon
pick
trade
for Peppers.
bit the Browns in the ass.
Yeah, Vernon
Well, he was
overrated.
hurt.
What?
Peppers hasn't
Vernon
been
was
what
hurt
they-
much.
Ziegler would have
Peppers
helped
is
Baker
nowhere near
Mayfield
what
more
the
than
Giants
Vernon
said he
would
was
have.
going-
Right, but the
he
problem was their tackles, not their interior.
They just have a lot of issues. Dick.
Matinho is a Pro Bowler, and that's about it.
But you don't need me to tell you that.
No, I do need you to tell me that.
Okay, I can next week then.
All right, that's. Are you going to be here next week? Because I know Jordan's not.
I am.
Are you three ever going to be here at once?
Eventually.
Okay.
I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here for I don't know how long.
That's a good answer.
I don't know how long.
No, I know how long. I'll be here from 8:05 to 8:10.
Life happens, yeah.
Yeah. Until Arrow gives me the big old boot. I'll be here. Anyway.
Boo? Don't tease him. He'll do it. He'll give you the boot.
Take it away, Tyler.
All right. Awesome. We want to thank Jordan and Josh for coming again. Josh's debut. Yay!
I got you guys riled up, that's for sure.
No, well, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I
yeah, you
clutched
did.
your
Baker.
hand on your chest.
You baked me, all right. Thank you, Speedy. Anyway, Jordan, thank you for coming back. We did not.
course, my
We did not
pleasure.
scare you. Plus, I can kind of estimate where you live. So if anything really happened, I can drag you here. But
Great.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know exactly.
no,
yet.
I don't know exactly where.
Good.
But
It's close.
it's I could always just start screaming to the point where he really just has to come outside at 2:00 in the morning. Jordan, get out here!
I had a great time. This was awesome, really. It was really a lot of fun. I'm excited and can't wait to keep the ball rolling next, however how long we keep this up.
By the way, if you guys ever can make it during the week, feel free to
I would
Come
love
down.
to.
But what?
No, I didn't say what.
Oh, no, there's always a
Are
button
you
at the end of
expecting
the
bad news?
No, this is just kind of how this network goes. Anyway, so thank you to Eric too because he's been texting on and off during this whole program. So we want to thank
He was
him.
chiming in through
Thanks,
text
Bo.
form.
Yeah, he could have called in. You lazy, whatever. Anyway, you're really untying the bow there, right?
He's stuffing his face with Moe's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a little East Coast bias for you. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. Speedy, tell them where they can find us.
Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, on our website at worldwidesportsradio.com. And we are one of only
16
sports radio networks and podcasts on radio.com.
Woo! Everybody say goodbye.
Sorry, that was impressive.
See you later.
You gonna say goodbye? You're just gonna wave your hands up at like.
Bye, guys. Take care. I'll see you next week because I'll be here.
Thanks for listening, and have a glorious night.
We'll be back tomorrow. We're breaking down the Super Bowl. Don't miss it. See ya. Mamba out.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.